Good evening, everyone, and happy day before Halloween. Welcome to the next episode of Top 5. We definitely kind of messed with the schedule this month. So, we switched it to Thursdays, and then we didn't even do it every other week. And we haven't talked about it, but we might be going back to Tuesdays. But whoever's here or shows up throughout the stream, welcome, and hope you enjoy it. So, what's up, Jason? How you doing tonight?
Exhausted, but I'm here. I'm ready to talk some antagonists, some bad guys, some evildoers, all that fun stuff.
So, in addition to that, we had a different topic planned for tonight.
We did.
And that was because we did top 5 spooky games last year. So Jason and I already have our list. So we were going to get another panel together to do another list. And we only had one person. Everyone's like, yeah, I don't really do spooky games, so I couldn't really make a list. So we kind of pivoted to a slightly alternate topic. So we're doing top 5 antagonists, kind of keeping the vein, not necessarily spooky, but the I guess in the kind of the vein of Halloween.
Yeah.
So that was thanks to our guest tonight, who was going to be on the top 5 spooky games, even though he originally said he's like, I don't really have any spooky games. And I gave him my list, and he's like, oh, now I have a list of like 40 games. So he was all prepared and ready to do spooky games, but we're like, hey, we're gonna switch the topic so that you're not the only one on the panel just giving a list. And he's like, why not antagonists? I was like, that's great. So with that, we got a pretty regular now. We got Lois Expectation is joining us again tonight. What's up, Lois? How's it going?
Oh, good. Hello there.
Good evening. Welcome to have you back. So we are doing top 5 video game antagonists tonight, and this is gonna be a fun one. So let's go ahead and say hi to the chat real quick. And it doesn't show up my restream because they chatted before we started the stream. But I see T-Man was in there first, saying Sigma male antagonist. What's up, T-Man? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. And a new name I've not seen before. Is it Kyrie? I'm not sure, but welcome. Kyrie. Hello, and welcome to Top 5 as we rank our top 5 personal favorite antagonists in video games. And Dude is over on Rumble saying howdy. Good evening, Dude. How's it going? So, all right. Well, since this is more of a broader one, I don't have like any specific questions like, what was your first game in this genre or whatever. So I guess let's start with the other kind of usual was this a difficult list to come up with for you guys? So Jason, sounds like for you, it definitely was.
So yes, it was, and then it wasn't, because I kept thinking, like, it's not bosses. We've done bosses before, so I can't. I'm taking that equation out of it. It's like, it doesn't have to be a boss. I'm like if it has a really bad boss fight, that shouldn't affect how this person's on the list.
Exactly.
I'm like, if I go to a random person, I'm like, hey, give me a video game bad guy that you love to hate or you hate to love or anything like that. Who are you saying? And then that's what kind of the thought process I went down. And then I made a gigantic list. And then a couple funny ones popped in, like, as well as I was talking to people about it. And then I was like, okay. As the list kept going, I'm like, all right, this might be a boring list on my end. There's a couple of them, but I'm like, if I'm talking about bad guys in video games, and at least 4, if not all of these aren't mentioned at ever, there's a problem with the list. So that's kind of what I went with for today.
Okay. Yeah. After I made my large list before I narrowed it down,
Mm-hmm.
I made my large list, and then I went back and looked at our boss fights one from a while ago, and I don't think there. You know what? I don't even remember what was on it, but that was. Yeah, when was that?
A while ago.
Where is it? I was looking at it earlier today, and there it is. It was episode 15. So yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, I have very little crossover between the boss fights, because that's like the mechanics of the fight and stuff. Is a well-designed boss fight versus this is just like who's like the best antagonist. So, yeah, I didn't really have that much of a difficulty of making my list. My big list, because a lot of times I'll have like a list of like 30 or something. I need to narrow down to like 10, and then I'll narrow those down to 5. I had 11 as my large list. And it was pretty easy to pick 5 out of those, because the other ones were like, these ones are good, but they're not as like personal to me. So those ones, it was pretty easy to put those aside to the honorable mention. So this was the hardest part was not figuring out which 5 it was going to be, but what order those 5 were going to be in. So.
Yeah, for me, the order was easy. Fixing the 5 was the hard.
Okay. What about you, Lois? Do you have any difficulty with this one?
Not really, actually, because if you guys don't know, I actually made a video on this topic a while back.
Oh, okay.
But that video was the top 10 best and worst JRPG protagonists out of all the games I've played.
Okay.
So it was
I don't
just
think
limited.
I watched that one, given I don't really do JRPGs.
Right. So that one obviously is just limited to JRPGs, but it does make up a good portion of my list.
That would make sense.
Yep. The rest of it was just me inserting everyone else wherever they belong. So I have, if anyone's seen that video, my top 5 is going to be somewhat predictable.
Okay.
But I got a few others as well.
We'll see how many of these that, on your list I even have heard of before.
I think one of them might be on one of you guys' top 5, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. So, but yeah, so, all right. Well, it's good to be back doing some video game chat, because I've had some stuff going on IRL, and that's why I've done done my a few gaming streams during the day, but I haven't been streaming much in the evenings because I got stuff going on IRL, and it's probably going to stay that way for a while. So, but I love doing this. So I can't wait till kind of everything's all sorted out and I can get back to doing my top 5s and party chats and open mics every week. So glad to be here talking video games with you guys. So, all right. Well, with that, we will go ahead and get into our number 5. So as usual, Jason, go ahead and kick us off with your number 5.
So my number 5, as we were talking about like audibles and changing things, was One Right Away. I'm dating the episode right now, but today the Mortal Kombat collection came out, and I had a MK character, but I was talking about like not boss or anything like that, as like the running bad guy of the whole entire franchise, that in all the story modes and everything like that, who would I choose? I originally had Shao Kahn as number 5, but then I switched it up literally 5 minutes ago as I was watching stuff, and I had to put the original bad guy, Shang Tsung. The only reason why I had to switch it up is because I was talking to myself about it. I was like, yeah, Shao Kahn sucks to fight. But like as later in the franchise goes, he's just a big hammer-wielding guy with a cool mask. But Shang Tsung's always the guy that's in the background doing things. He's doing, just random stuff throughout the entire franchise. And he was the original boss. So I was like, yeah, he edged him out. But so yeah, my number 5 is Shang Tsung. I think out of all fighting games, there are a few bosses that are, that you could talk about. But for some odd reason, I always go back to MK. Like I was thinking, like, do I put M. Bison? But I'm like, yeah, but he's just a train conductor.
I was thinking about it today. I was trying to think of what might be on Jason's list. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if M. Bison was on there or somebody, because I don't really know much about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like, Mortal Kombat's probably going to be on there somewhere. Shang Tsung is the Your Soul Is Mine guy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he could be everybody. Like, I mean, he's not the strongest of bosses, but like you can tell that he's, again, we're not doing boss again. That's what I was telling myself. Like, he is the bad guy. Like, he is every character. He can do certain things. So yeah, like he's always has his hand in, what the story is dictating for the game and everything like that. So as my number 5, I had to put Shang Tsung on my list.
Okay, so looking at the footage that Lois is playing right now, uh, is Shang Tsung a shapeshifter?
Yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, he so he absorbs the souls and then he can become that fighter. He's had that since day one. But like in number 2, where he's a more playable character, he could do the same thing so that he becomes very broken. Uh, 3, he becomes younger, but can still do the same thing. 4, he wasn't in 4. And then Deadly Alliance, he comes back. But yeah, there's like, yeah, he could always have do things like that. And quite frankly, I think he's more broken when he's not other characters. It just adds to it. But yeah, he's definitely one of the sorcerers that deserves to be on this list.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a couple on my list that are kind of like that, where it's a series running antagonist. So if you had to pick a specific game of Shang Tsung, which one is your like favorite of him as the villain?
Probably Deadly Alliance, only because that's where he partners up with one of the villains from number 4 and actually kills one of the main characters before the game even starts.
Oh,
So like story wise, it's like, oh crap, he did what he was supposed to do, from since the first game. But like the newer games, they more depict him as like it's pretty much smarter than he was before, trying to do other things. So like recently, they've done a really good job of being like, oh yeah, he's the bad guy that's number 2 instead of number 1, but like he's always backstabbing to get to number 1 and everything like that. But I would say Deadly Alliance, since he actually accomplished the goal that he was trying to do since number 1.
okay. And Deadly Alliance, what platform was that?
That was the one that was the first one off of the arcade. So that would be number 5. That would be like PlayStation 2, Xbox, and I believe GameCube. I can't. Yeah. Or no, GameCube didn't have Deadly Alliance. So just PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Yeah, yeah. If there wasn't a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter on here, on your list somewhere, I'd be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I mean, it almost wasn't for a second because like I was fighting between a couple other ones. Like there's 2 on my honorable mention, like that could easily slot in there. But I was like, again, as I was watching the documentary stuff, I'm like, yeah, he's been a really good boss, or I can't say boss, like a really good antagonist since the very beginning. And I'm like, some of the other ones that I have on there, I'm like, yeah, they fit that spot, but I'm like, yeah, no, he just fits that spot. Since '92, he's been the bad guy, and he's still there. So,
All right, good stuff. All right, cool. Lois, you're not big on. You're kind of like me. You're not really big on fighting games, right?
I have never touched a Mortal Kombat game once in my life.
I played.
that was hurts me.
I think it was Mortal Kombat 9 for about 10 minutes because a friend brought it over one time, and they just proceeded to just beat the hell out of me, and I was like, "Why? This is why I don't do fighting games." So okay, yeah, I was like, I don't think Lois does fighting games either, so probably not a whole lot to input on this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right, I think I will go next because my number 5 is kind of my quote unquote cop out answer, in that my other 4 are all like a specific person / character. But for my number 5, I had to include it, and it's like an enemy faction. So there were some other ones. I was like, this would be good for the list, but this, like, out of all the like enemy factions, this one is my favorite. So it's my number 5, and that is from my favorite game series of all time, and that is Mass Effect. And the faction I'm talking about is, of course, the Reapers in general. Having the basically a race of sentient machines that are so far up on their high horse that, like, biological beings are just like like ants to them. They just think so highly of themselves, and they the cycle repeats every 50,000 years, where they go into dark space between galaxies and just like go dormant, and let the biologicals of their it's not the term they typically use, because there's synthetics and what's the term for, living people in general that's often used in like sci-fi and stuff. There's synthetics and I'm blanking on this.
Flesh, humanoids, fleshies,
Organics.
Organics.
That's what I was
bags.
looking for. Meat bags works too. But yeah, so they let the organics repopulate the galaxy and evolve. And then every 50,000 years, they come out and come back and wipe out all life in the galaxy. And the cycle repeats over and over again because, 50,000 years between cycles, basically they become the thing of myth and legend. People, if you played Mass Effect, even though there's so much like evidence that it's actually happened and it's going to happen again, people are still just like, no, there's no way that can be real. So they just refuse to acknowledge that it could possibly be real. And of course it is. But yeah, they fade into myth and legend. People don't believe it. But they have this really cool race of machines that, basically just bodies the entire galaxy. And this scene right here from the end of Mass Effect 3 is literally one of my favorite space battles in all of sci-fi, not just video games. This is like one of the biggest sci-fi battles of all. It's all of the Reapers in the Mass Effect Galaxy versus basically all of the combined armadas of all the organics remaining in the entire galaxy. It's just so freaking epic. I would love to. This is totally a side tangent, but if we've talked about on Party Chat one time, or what is a franchise you would like to see explore a new genre? I would love to see a Rogue Squadron type game set in Mass Effect. Basically in this battle would be really freaking cool. But
Ooh.
Yeah, this scene right here where it's at the end of Mass Effect 3 and you're assaulting Earth. Well, not Earth, but they've captured the Citadel because that's how they get back and forth between dark space and back to the galaxy. It's just such a super epic battle. But they're so powerful. Like the first game, part of the spoilers for Mass Effect 1, if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it because it's, in my opinion, the best video game trilogy of all time. But there is a spaceship that you think is just a giant spaceship, but partially through the game, you discover that it's not a spaceship. It's actually a living, not breathing Reaper, since they're machines, but it's an actual Reaper, not just a spaceship. And that's where Carl and I have talked about it plenty of times on various streams, because that first interaction you have with them through the like the holographic projector thing is just like mind blowing. It's like, whoa, this is nuts. But yeah, so he's not the boss of the game, since the actual boss of the game is Saren. But through another thing that Reapers do in order to dominate the galaxy is indoctrination. Just like being near them, organics become basically enslaved to them, and they really go into the whole indoctrination, like the process in the books, which I have got right up there, and it's really interesting because it talks about how it's kind of like the multiple personality disorder, where you have not necessarily where you have multiple people, but there's where you hear voices in your head. But the thing is your own voice, essentially. So you think you're thinking your own thoughts, but it's actually the Reapers imposing their will into your thoughts, so that you think that you're making your own decisions when you're really actually doing what they want you to do without even realizing it. And that's how you basically become indoctrinated, because you don't even realize that it's happening. That's just another really cool thing about the Reapers. That's how they basically turn organics to basically be on their side and fight for them. So anyways, where I was going with that is you find out that what is not Harbinger. Harbinger is the main Reaper of Mass Effect 2. It's Sovereign. Sovereign's the first one you encounter in Mass Effect 1. But at the end of Mass Effect 1, there's a big battle of Sovereign versus not the full might of all the armadas of the entire galaxy, but a lot of firepower to take down one Reaper at the end of Mass Effect. And then at the end of Mass Effect 3, it's thousands versus a lot of people. So it's just the Reaper's just really freaking cool. And then one of the DLCs in Mass Effect 3 is the Leviathan DLC. And it goes into the origins of the Reapers, because there's organics that look exactly like the Reapers, and they are essentially the ones that created the Reapers, but it all went wrong because it's been a while since I played through it, but basically, like, they created them to like stop the death and destruction, but the Reapers came to the conclusion that in order to stop the death and destruction, they had to wipe out organics, because organics will always lead to death and destruction. So the only way to stop that is to kill them first. So it's like one of those things where unintended side effects cause, the never-ending cycle of the extinction of organic life. So just a really cool set of enemies that I really like, and so I just had to gush about the Reapers being a cool enemy faction for a little bit. So so for me, my number 5 is the Reapers. All the rest are actual specific characters rather than a faction, but there are plenty of other factions I could have put on this list. So as the October Mike is here, is this the League of Villains channel? For tonight it is. What's up, October Mike? And Nightmare's here as well. Good evening, guys. What's up, Nightmare? And dude says it's not a Mass Effect, or it's not a Neo stream without a Mass Effect mention. I don't go every stream without mentioning Mass Effect, but most of the time I do. So I'll give you that one. So either you guys have anything to input on Mass Effect?
No, as I was looking through some stuff, there was another Mass Effect boss that I was curious if you were going to mention or not. Or antagonist. So I don't know if there's more, but there was one that I saw it. I was like, oh, I never finished the game. So.
Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about the Elusive Man.
Yes.
That would have also been an excellent pick for an actual specific character. He is also a really good villain. Yeah. So that is definitely a good pick as well. So Nightmare says evil equals every villain is lemons. All right. Team. Oh yeah, NerdyNeo does like the Mass Effect. It's my favorite video game franchise of all time. So yes, I do. All right. Anything else before we move on to Lois number 5?
No, but you bringing up factions does lead into my number 5 kinda. I didn't even think about this angle, but it is relevant, I guess.
I had no idea about Mass Effect being my favorite. I know you're kidding, but all right, Lois. Shocked, I tell you. Well, not that shocked. The Fry meme from Futurama.
Exactly.
All right, Lois, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is kind of a meme. He's a villain from my favorite game of all time. But within the game, it's kind of hard to justify having him on here because the game is like so old and the presentation is so bad in how they did it. But I love him anyway. So my number 5 is Dagoth from Morrowind.
Dagoth, what? Who is that?
Dagoth. I can put it in the chat if you want.
I played a heck of a lot of Oblivion and Skyrim. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I saw this pop up.
He might be mentioned in like a book or something in the Oblivion. They don't talk about what happened in Morrowind a lot.
Yeah. If they did, I mean, it's been a long time since I played Oblivion, and it's been a while since I played Skyrim. But usually a lot of the like Daedric characters get mentioned throughout multiple games, so I'm not even familiar with this character. Right. So go ahead and enlighten me.
Well, it's a good thing you mentioned the Daedra because Dagoth is not a Daedra.
Oh,
he's
okay.
actually
that name, I assumed he was he was. I just blanked. What was the word I just used?
Daedra.
Daedra, thank you. Given the name of Dagoth, I assumed he was Daedra.
Right. So the name Dagoth is actually based on the faction House Dagoth, which is named after him.
Oh, okay.
So that they're the House Dagoth, or also known as the Sixth House in the game. They're like the main antagonists of the story. And eventually it leads to you being, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it leads you to being able to take him down somehow.
I think, unfortunately, we're talking about bosses that we're going to have to spoil some parts of the game.
We are, yep.
It's all right.
I'm going to try, though. There's some of these I really don't want to spoil if people haven't seen them. But
Makes sense.
It's like...
So I'm going to try.
I haven't played Morrowind. Well, I mean, I did play it for about 10 minutes on a roulette stream, but I did not really enjoy my 15 minutes or whatever that I played. So I probably won't be playing it.
It takes way longer than 15 minutes for that game to start getting good.
So if you feel free
you
to
have
spoil
to commit to it. You have to commit
spoil
to
it
it
on my behalf. I won't mind.
Oh, it's more for like the chat or anyone who's watching. But
Fair enough.
let's see, where was I going? Okay, so how's Dagoth? What they are ancestors of the Dark Elves from
Okay.
like, I don't remember how many years ago, but they basically they took over this artifact that was made by the dwarves, and then the dwarves, like, I don't remember like the sequence of events, but the dwarves actually like completely vanished just out of nowhere, and the people can't figure out what happened to them. But he found one of their most powerful artifacts that basically makes him immortal, and he wants to take over the whole country of Morrowind and drive out all the other people that live there now. So that's what makes him the antagonist. And there's a lot of like, it's a really like Homeland kind of villain, I guess you could say.
Like from The Boys.
Like like a super uber crazy racist who wants to like destroy all the other races in the world, or just drive them out of Morrowind.
Okay. When you said Homeland, did you mean like Homelander from The Boys? Because I don't know anything about The Boys. Or are you talking about like Homeland, the TV show?
Homeland, I don't know, as like a concept, I guess.
Oh, okay. Ignore
I
me.
don't know anything. I don't know anything about The Boys.
I don't either. So you're just talking about like he's trying to make it his own like Homeland.
Yeah.
Okay, I was taking that in a completely wrong direction. My bad.
Yeah, and so they're also like really messed up cultish house, because they get this artifact. They all start turning into like these zombies. Like they're called ash zombies, and they're basically like decaying immortal zombie things that like they're creepy as hell. Like this game is like shockingly creepy for how old and how like rudimentary the graphics are. So like I actually, to spoil this if we end up doing the top 5, I had this on my top 5 spooky games list.
Okay.
Because of how creepy the antagonists of this game are. But yeah. Also, dude mentioned in the chat, Dagoth memes are hilarious.
I've never seen one, so
there's some of the best memes I have ever seen, and I love all of them. So,
are these memes you'd have to be well versed in the Morrowind lore to understand?
Kinda. Or if you just know like a baseline of like what the character is or what the story is, then you kind of get it. So
okay.
You don't see Dagoth until like the very, very end of the game. And he has like, the game has like very, very few voice lines. Most of the time you're reading the dialogue.
Yeah.
But he has a bunch of voice lines as you are traveling through the dungeon that leads to him. And people have taken those voice lines and created an basically almost perfect AI voice of him. And it's so funny and it's so perfect, and I love it so much.
Okay. So yeah, Ed Dude also said if only Morrowind had achievements. If it ever gets retro achievements, if original Xbox ever gets retro achievement support, then I will probably go ahead and finally play Morrowind.
Did it not have them on 360? Because you could play the game on 360.
Right, but it was an original Xbox game, and you could play it on 360 via backwards compatible. It wasn't an actual 360 game, so original Xbox games did not have achievements.
Okay.
So,
yeah, everyone's saying Enwa in the chat. That's basically the N word in Morrowind.
Oh, okay.
Not quite the same, but it's, you know,
similar enough.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't played, like I said, I haven't really played Morrowind, so I didn't even get far enough to be introduced to this character.
No, yeah, you don't really see him until the very end. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention, like the reason why I liked him so much was because of throughout the game, you basically learn the backstory of Morrowind through reading a bunch of stuff, basically. And when you read about what happened, like the stuff that he did and all that, it makes a really interesting story from a lore perspective.
Okay. But don't.
And then it does it like if you read it and you sort of take it in and then you imagine everything and then you get there and then the boss is kind of disappointing because they couldn't really do it at this point with this engine. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right. So, all right. Lois says, yeah, Lois will hate it. I mean, achievement system. So,
True.
yeah, there's a few of people that I'm friends with that they're like achievements. I'm like, it's like, well, if you don't care about them, just ignore them, but put them in your game so the people who care about them can play. Have something else to work towards or be able to show. Have some sort of something to show that they played the game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I just wish I could turn off the little pop-up notification on Steam. It won't let me.
Interesting. I did not know that, but I would
and
never want to turn it off.
If I turn the Steam overlay on, it'll pop up on the game window, and I can't turn that off either. It's really annoying.
That should definitely be an option, is disable achievement notifications. Xbox has it. You can turn them off, but
yeah, you can on PlayStation too.
Okay. I hate, though, I've never turned it off, and it's really annoying when achievements will silently pop. It's like, I beat this boss, and an achievement should have popped, and it doesn't pop, and then later I go and look at my achievement list, and it did pop. It just didn't notify me of it. It's like, come on, I want to see it on screen so I know that I actually did it. Because there's a lot of times where there's achievements that are like glitchy, and it's like, I don't know if it's like I fulfill the requirements, but I know I've heard that this achievement, like, people had difficulty with it, so maybe I have to go and like redo the fight again or something. And I go and do it like 4 or 5 times. Like, why am I not getting the achievement? Then I go and look. It's like, oh, it did unlock. It just didn't tell me again. So that's always really annoying. So, yeah.
I actually did. This is a tangent, but I actually did get all the achievements in that Mars First Logistics game I was playing last month.
Oh, okay. That
because it's the achievements were mostly just do every mission in the game, like the main missions, and then you have almost all of them. So I'm like, all right, here we go.
How long would you say it took you to get to 100% that game?
I'm a bad person to ask because I did like a challenge run of it. As soon as I learned that I could,
harder?
I made it way harder.
Okay.
I basically didn't buy new parts for my vehicles after a certain point. So yeah, I made it way harder and took way longer. Yeah, basically.
So, because it looks interesting. I think I might enjoy it. What do you think? Do you think I would like that game?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know of anything similar you've played, so I don't know.
All right. All right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our number 4s. So, let's see here. All right, I think I'll go ahead and kick off our number 4s. And as I alluded to a few minutes ago, my number 4 is one of those like series spanning bosses. And he is also in the thumbnail for tonight, which I shamelessly reappropriated from our top 5 boss fights. Because like
I noticed it worked
nice.
I'm like, that looked a little familiar, and I just didn't think anything of it. And I was like, I wonder why it looks familiar. But yeah.
Yeah, it's because this afternoon I realized I'm like, oh crap, I never scheduled the stream. So I just grabbed the top 5 boss fights thumbnail and just changed the word from boss fights to antagonists and just reused it. So I was lazy.
It worked. I wouldn't have had a chance to make one this week, so it works. I'm glad.
So it worked well. But he is on our thumbnail for tonight, and it is from my favorite series of Super Nintendo games. You can't really see it, but it's the one that's right there in my Super Nintendo right now, and that is the not the main protagonist of Mega Man, because the main protagonist of Mega Man is Dr. Wily, which is the classic Mega Man series, which I've played, but I'm not really into them. My series is the Mega Man X franchise, and the ongoing antagonists through all. Let's see here. Is there any? I actually didn't think about this ahead of time. But I'm pretty sure he's the final boss of every of all 8 Mega Man X games, and that is Sigma.
Yeah, I think
he is the boss of Mega Man X1, X2, X3, X4, X5. I'm It's 6 that I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he's still the boss of X6, but I could be mistaken. But he's the boss of X7, and I think he's the boss of X8. But X6 and X8 are the ones I'd have to go back and double check. So we're looking at Mega Man X right there, which is what's that?
Fun fact about him too is he's the boss of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and he partners with Ultron to become Ultron Sigma, because obviously Sigma's a virus and they become one, and it's kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. So one of the other things I was thinking about, because a lot of some of the antagonists, maybe not in like the mainline games, but maybe like some spin-off games, they become like a playable character. Like a lot of the Nintendo antagonists are playable characters in like Smash Brothers. I don't know. I don't think there are any games where Sigma is a playable character. Is he a playable character in that fighting game you just Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, he's really good too.
Okay. Given that I'm not big on fighting games, that would have been my guess. Like if there was any game where he was playable, my guess is it would probably be like one of those Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games. I know Mega Man X and Zero are playable, so I would assume that possibly Sigma is also playable. So, all right. So in that one, he is, but none of the actual Mega Man, like not mainline, but
games.
There's the classic series. There's the Mega Man X games. There's the Mega Man Battle Network games. There's the Star Force games. There's the ZX and ZX Advent games, Mega Man Zero games. There's so many different spinoffs of Mega Man, and out of all of those sub franchises, I'm pretty sure Sigma is not playable in any of them. But yeah, I just, Mega Man X3, they tried to, because he was like I said, he's the boss of X1 and X2, and they made no, they didn't try to hide it or anything. X3, they tried to mislead you into thinking that this, it's like we've done Sigma 2 games. This is a new enemy, and Sigma's not in it. But then, spoiler alert, you beat the final boss of the game, and then you find out that he was actually working for Sigma, and then Sigma is actually the boss of Mega Man X3 as well. Surprise, surprise, surprise Pikachu face. So you fight him in Mega Man X3 and into X4 and X5. Obviously, he's very different in each and every one, so they do change him a lot. We don't talk about X7 because that game is just god awful. But he's probably one of my favorite. I can't say my favorite recurring villain because I do have a couple more on my list, but I do love Sigma a lot because Mega Man X franchise, like I said, is my favorite Super Nintendo franchise. It spanned more than the Super Nintendo, but those X1, 2, and 3 are my favorite Super Nintendo games. That's what really got me into the Mega Man franchise. And there is a lot of lore in the Mega Man games, but I've never really played Mega Man for the lore. I've always played it for the gameplay, and I just kind of ignore the story that's going on. But if you do actually pay attention to the lore, I could get some of this wrong because, like I said, I skip a lot of it a lot of the time. But like you said earlier, Sigma is actually a virus, which is why he just keeps coming back, because it's like you kill like his corporeal form essentially. That's like right there. That's kind of like his native form right there, since he's a virus. And it was kind of cool that they were able to pull that off. It's kind of like Symphony of the Night on PlayStation, where they didn't want to like greenlight the game because like we're in the 3D era. No one wants 2D games anymore. So they threw in a couple of like 3D character models, like the books in the library. Although it wasn't quite the same thing because this is, a generation before that. But it was kind of cool that they made this, wireframe 3D character. And they did it in X3 as well, in a basically a fully 2D game. So that was kind of cool. But anyways, he's a virus, and so he can, take many forms and kind of move his consciousness between bodies, a lot like Palpatine in real Star Wars, and why he came back so many times, but not the way they did it in the Disney disaster trilogy. That's an abomination.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. But in addition to that, the part I forget is whether Sigma built Zero, who is really freaking cool. I love Zeros. When we talked about did we do top 5? No, it wasn't. I know we talked about on Party Chat. We talked about like top 5, or not top 5, but favorite like sidekick characters. And Zero is one of, if not my favorite sidekick character, because Zero is freaking awesome. But anyway, Zero was designed to be a bad guy, and I forget whether it was Dr. Wily that designed him, and then Sigma like kind of took over for him, or whether it was Sigma designed him, and then he actually turned good for a long time. And there's been this long going like back and forth between like Zero being a good guy and a bad guy. But anyways, it's like I said, the story in the Mega Man games is kind of nonsensical, but when you really look into the lore, it's pretty interesting, especially since this is technically in the far future, because there were humans that are mostly wiped out. They do still exist, but basically everything in the Mega Man games is Mega Man X, and everybody you fight and all of your sidekicks are all Refloids, except I think the main sidekick character in the Mega Man ZX or the Mega Man Zero games, Ciel, but it's Ciel. I'm pretty sure she's fully human, but she's like the leader of the resistance, and it's basically just like good Reploids versus bad Reploids, which are the Mega Man's version of robots. And we also talked about just recently on a party chat, what boss have you fought the most times? And Sigma is definitely because he's the boss of so many games, and I played them all, so many times. He's also probably one of, if not the boss that I fought the most times in my life. So I just really like Sigma because he is, my favorite, or the main antagonist of my favorite sub-series of Mega Man games. And Mega Man is one of my favorite franchises. So, all right, let's see here. So let's see. I wasn't looking at chat, but chat is popping off here after I started talking about Mega Man. Crazy Landlow's here. What's up, Crazy Landlow? Am I late? Not too late. We're only in our number 4s. So I just started off number 4. So all you missed was number 5. T-Man says, except for Mega Man X8. What was that in reference to? Was Sigma not the boss in X8? It's been a while since I played it, so I'd have to go back and check, but that's a bit spoilery. Also, Sigma was the original Sigma male Reploid before Sigma male even existed. I find it funny whenever someone talks about like the Sigma males, like not in anything to do with video games, just like the Chad men, and they call them like Sigma males. Like I always think of Sigma from Mega Man, even though the origin of Sigma is the Greek letter of Sigma. But that's why the Sigma symbol in the Mega Man X games, that is the symbol, is the Greek letter of Sigma. And it's also used in mathematics for summation. So Tina says, if I had a personal favorite antagonist from the Mega Man series, it would probably be Dr. Wheel from the Mega Man Zero series. That guy is just pure evil. I don't even remember because it's been so long since I played the Zero games, but I will be playing through them again twice because I'll be playing the Game Boy Advance versions and I'll be playing the DS collection of all of them as well. So, hey, Sergey's here. What's up, Sergey? Yo. And Tina says he's pretty much relentless. I think the best antagonist is Voss from Far Cry 3. I don't know if that'll be on any of our lists, but I do often see him mentioned in a lot of best antagonists. I've not played it. The only Far Cry game I've played is Blood Dragon. So I will play Far Cry 3. I do own it. I just haven't played it yet. So I will be playing it at some point. So I will get to experience him myself. But I know basically everything about him just from videos that, tons and tons of videos that talk about just how good of a villain he is. So I'm going to skip that comment because that will be brought up later. Hint, hint. And T-Man said, actually, it was Dr. Wily who built Zero. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Dr. Wily that actually built Zero. But Sigma kind of like corrupted him or something. And here is the final boss fight versus the Sigma in Mega Man X3, which is my favorite Mega Man. So, and there it is. All right. I was like, he doesn't have the Z-Saber. He does have the Z-Saber. We're not watching my footage, are we?
No.
Okay.
You have footage?
I have footage of me fighting the last 2 forms of Sigma here on Mega Man X3 because I posted it as an achievement guide for the Mega Man X collection on Xbox One, because there's an achievement for beating him without the what's it called? Not the Omega. It's the gold armor. I just forgot what the in-game term is for when you get the gold armor, but there's an achievement for beating it without the gold armor, and so I recorded myself beating him without it as like a guide to show people how to do it the easiest way possible. So, All right. In fact, X4 cutscene, 0 fights, Sigma, and infected him with the virus. That's right. I've there the version, because there's a couple different versions of X4, kind of like Shadows of the Empire, where Shadows of the Empire, if you play the N64 version, there's no cutscenes, but the like PlayStation, or I don't remember if there was a PlayStation version, but I know there was a PC version that had actual cutscenes in it. So the versions of X4 that I originally played didn't have those cutscenes, but I have seen them since. So yeah, those cutscenes. Yeah, Sigma infects Zero with the virus. Yeah, because there becomes the Zero virus is one of the gameplay mechanics of X5 or X6. I forget which one it is, but yeah. Oh, so Sigma wasn't the final boss of X8. Thank you for the clarification. It's been a long time since I played, so I didn't remember. So Nightmares also only played Blood Dragon, and who knew Neo is so evil by having an expired Discord link? Oh, is it? I set it to never expire, so that shouldn't be. But I will go and fix that. So thank you for letting me know about that. So yeah, and right here, this is the Mega Man X4 Sigma fight, or is this X5? It's probably X4 since we were just watching X3. I'm assuming that the video you have playing is in the correct order.
They don't have timestamps.
So
jerks.
But yeah, the one thing that is annoying is that being a big fan of Mega Man games, I've only played a couple of the Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 hacks, but I have a bunch of them in the backlog. But one of them that I've played is Mega Man X Proto Man Edition, and the game is exactly the same. It doesn't change anything except instead of playing as Mega Man X, you're playing as Proto Man. The only difference is that he takes like twice as much damage as Mega Man. So I've gotten to the final Sigma boss fight, and I cannot beat it because you take so much damage. You can only take 2 hits before you have to use an energy tank. Otherwise, a third hit will kill you. And you have to get through all 3 phases of the final Sigma fight. First, the dog fight, then Sigma with his lightsaber, and then the rotating platform lightning hands form of Sigma. And you have to do that, basically without getting hit like 8 times. And I've not been able to do that. It is very hard. So I'm like this close to beating that Mega Man X hack, but I haven't been able to do it yet. So, but I've gotten really good at the Sigma fight. I just haven't gotten good enough yet on Mega Man X. So, yeah, that version right there that he's fighting is actually, this guy's getting hit a lot. That fight, the version of that first form of Sigma right there is like super easy to beat without taking damage. So X4 is where you fight Sigma in his Reaper football armor form. Okay, thank you. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is X4, but it looks very similar to X5. But thank you for that clarification, T-Man. So, all right. And not specific to the video game, but once I have some more income, there's a bunch of, I want to get a Mega Man X, a Zero, and a Sigma figure for my background here, because I've seen some really freaking sweet ones before.
There's some really good Sigma ones.
So, yeah. All right. Well, that will. So yeah, Sigma is my number 4. So let's go in reverse order then. And Lois, what is your number 4? And then Jason can finish off our number 4s.
Well, my number 4 is a villain from one of the, I guess you could consider it a black sheep of the Final Fantasy series. And that is
the
Final
Cerberus
Fantasy
one.
The Cerberus one. What's that?
The best Final Fantasy is the third-person shooter one. Jason's just shaking.
I don't even know what that is.
He's talking about Dirge of Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh,
Thank
Dirge
you. I
of
couldn't
Cerberus.
remember the name.
Okay. I know what that is.
Because
Yeah.
it's not
I was like, what are you talking about?
It's not a turn-based RPG, so therefore it's the best Final Fantasy game. Although, no, if I had to say, even though I technically haven't played Dirge of Cerberus, but if I had to pick a favorite Final Fantasy game, even though I haven't played any of them, it would probably be Stranger of Paradise, since it's a hack and slash made by Team Ninja.
Oh,
is that a better choice? Jason, is that better than Dirge of Cerberus? Is that a better choice? Have I redeemed myself?
A little bit.
I did play the demo of Stranger of Paradise, and I was like, there's a lot of potential in this. It just didn't capture me. So sorry to
play that.
Sorry to interrupt, Solois. What is the other black sheep of the Final Fantasy franchise?
Still, I need to play that game for the chaos.
Are we Dirge of Cerberus?
No, Stranger Paradise.
Stranger Paradise. Okay.
No, but I'm actually talking about Final Fantasy 13-2,
13-2.
which a lot
Is
of
that
people.
Lightning Returns?
No, that's 3.
That's 3. Okay.
Yeah, it's the second one is the one where you play as Lightning's sister, Sarah, and the other guy, Noel, who joins her.
I'm not even sure I'd recognize these characters if I saw them.
Right. But the villain of that game is called Caius Ballad, and he is my number 4. Well, let me fix that. That's this guy right here. He is.
See,
This is another one that I'm going to try to explain without spoiling too much, because I actually, even though this game's story is kind of a cluster, I think this guy basically redeems it and makes it very, very interesting to me. He's a very tragic villain. And basically what you're watching here is him watching a girl named Yule die again for like the 1,000th time. And he's basically wants to destroy the world because of it. And that's kind of the gist of his motivation, without spoiling too much. He challenges Lightning to a duel here, and she's like the guardian of the goddess right now. So if he can kill her, then he can accomplish his goal. But I believe they get locked in a stalemate for a long time, and then her sister goes on this cluster of a time traveling journey, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens that references back to the first Final Fantasy 13 game as well. So yeah, it's crazy.
All 3 of the Final Fantasy 13 games were there were 360 PS3 games, right?
Yes. And this is my favorite one of the 3. Probably my 3rd favorite Final Fantasy game in general, actually.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of games you could do a top 5 Final Fantasy games, and everyone could have a completely different list.
Oh yeah, I old school Final Fantasy fans would hate me. Because there's a lot of them that I haven't played still. If I did that list,
I wouldn't be able to make a list since I haven't played any of them.
Yep. Another thing that really sells this guy for me, he is voiced by Liam O'Brien.
He's just pulled it up to see if I spelled his name correctly, and I had it right. I just had 2 letters flipped, and I saw that name. I don't know who that is, so
he's good.
He's probably my number 1 favorite Western voice actor.
Okay.
In video games and stuff.
What's some other stuff that he's voiced?
He is voiced. Who?
I know a decent amount of voice actors, but I don't know that I've heard his name before.
See, I don't follow voice acting very much, because I always like to say video games were better before voice acting. But I think one of his more famous ones is Grimoire Weiss from Nier.
He almost destroyed his career being Asura and Asura's Wrath because he had to do a lot of screaming and almost destroyed his voice.
Okay, yeah, I just pulled him up on IMDb and I see Asura's Wrath. I did play that, so I've talked about that quite a few times on stream.
One thing that he's known for the most
feelings on that game.
Yeah, the one thing he's known for the most is he's one of the mainstays from Critical Role. So
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes, that has 367 episodes. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
I did not realize it had been going on that long.
Yeah, I believe he was a voice actor for the Western version of Naruto as well.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways he got famous. I could be wrong on that. That's like going off a vague memory, so I don't know.
He's I just watched the a review of this game.
There T-Man said it, Gaara from Naruto.
Gaara from Naruto, okay.
There we go.
But he's also a voice in the new game Dispatch, for anybody who knows about that game.
Yeah, that game keeps getting shoved into my face, whether I like it or not, unfortunately.
So, all right. No, sorry to interject again. Go ahead and tell us more about 13.2, right? This is 13.2?
Yeah. Right. I've pretty much said all I'd want to say without like spoiling too much.
Okay.
I tend to really like tragic villains. and he's a really, really good example of that. God, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, but he's all right. So he's a really good villain though from Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 13 2. Okay, it's like so she was just running up near a near vertical surface on her horse. It reminded me of oh shoot, what's the horse you get in Skyrim that there were memes about it? It could it was like a
Yep.
spider horse. It could walk up walls.
Yeah, this whole trilogy is over the top and crazy.
What's the name? Shadowmere?
Shadowmere?
Is no,
Or
that's
Shadowmere?
no. Is that it's like Shadowfax is from Lord of the Rings? Horse in Skyrim. What's the name?
Oh, it's Shadowmere.
It is Shadowmere. Okay, I was like, I wasn't sure if I was getting them mixed up or not, but yeah, I was like, I think that's right. There's lots of memes of it, the horse walking up like vertical mountains. So, cool. All right, so Final Fantasy 13 2. And this was Caius Ballard.
Ballad.
Ballad. Okay. I was like, wait, did I misspell it or no? I spelled it right. Ballad. So, all right. So yeah, don't want to give too much away for anybody who hasn't played it because it's definitely worth playing. It sounds like for anyone who's a fan of JRPGs.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative reception towards this trilogy though.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of it is justified. But I think this is it's definitely overhated to some degree as well.
Okay.
You have to kind of like clear your mind and go in with no expectations whatsoever and just see how you feel about it afterwards. That's what I'd say.
Go into it with lowest expectations. Haha.
Well, you can do that too.
I wish I had the rim shot sound effect. So,
or go in with no preconceived notions, basically.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Chat. So T-Man says Mayman X6, 4 through 6 are all in the same engine. So it makes sense on why you might get them mixed up. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3 are all in like one engine. Then 4, 5, and 6 are all in one engine. And then 7 and 8 look very different. So it's easy to mix up 1, 2, and 3 and 4, 5, and 6 if you aren't too terribly familiar with it. So let's see here. Nightmare says the best Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 16. I haven't played it, but if I was going to play one of like the mainline ones, that would probably be the one I would start with. Wait,
I imagine that's a very hot take.
Mm-hmm. Nightmare and I have a lot of similar tastes, so I bet if you like it, I would probably like it as well. But yeah, I know a lot of people were not big on 16. 14 was the MMO, and then 15 to 16 are single player ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Light says Stranger Paradise is bad. I don't know. I liked the little bit that I played in the demo more than anything I've seen from any of the videos of all the other Final Fantasies I've ever seen. But that's just me. So he said, "I am chaos." Lois, you haven't finished your Spirit Animals edgy game in a long time. What is he referring to?
My Shadow the Hedgehog streams.
Oh, okay.
I still need to get all the endings.
All right.
So it'll happen eventually.
Eventually, yeah. No, that was October Mike. So dude says I still need to play the Final Fantasy 13 sequels, but I've platinumed the original twice. Those games are lengthy, so platinuming it twice, that's good amount of time. So old school Final Fantasy fans really hate me. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Understandable. And let's see here. Dude is saying he was the voice actor of the main character in the Monster anime. Highly recommended by me. I've never even heard of that one, but I don't know many animes. So shout out to the anime called Monster. So let's see here. He voiced characters in various Tales of series games. Oh, okay. That's probably why Lois is a fan of him. Because you're a fan of the Tales series, right?
Who did he voice in the Tales of series again? The Tales of series. Okay, this series, it's called Tales of, but the tales are incredibly weak and forgettable. And I have a interesting relationship with that series.
So,
So if he did voice a character in one of the games that I played, I don't remember it at all
Okay.
because the characters are all forgettable and
Dr. Tenma?
or cringe.
T-Man says
Who?
Dr. Tenma. Do you remember Dr. Tenma?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, there. Forgettable, apparently. So, but we got a lot of love in the chat for Shadow the Hedgehog. So, eventually, Lois will continue that. And
Yes.
dude, saying Monster is a psychological horror mystery about a doctor dealing with a psychopath across Germany right after the Berlin Wall fell. Ah, that does sound kind of interesting.
Oh, T-Man says he voiced Dis in Tales of Abyss. I remember that.
The character you do remember.
Yeah, that one I do remember because that character was hilarious.
Oh, I think you mentioned him before on a previous stream because I remember you talking about some hilarious character from Tales of game. So, Nightmare was a fan of Tales of Arise. So,
I haven't played that one. I tried the demo and I was like, nah.
So, all right, Jason. Then, what is your number 4?
All right, so now my next 4 are going to be pretty much, I like to say chalk in a way. Yeah, like pretty much like, again, if you talk to anybody that's video games or anything like that, this is kind of, to me, villains or, antagonists. So with that said, my number 4 is going to be Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, every time someone says Dr. Eggman, I'm like, it's Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
Eggman's a stupid name. I don't know why people call him that.
I like both. Like Dr. Robotnik's his name, but like Dr. Eggman, because he's shaped like an egg, and Sonic is one of those things. Like, so it's just one of those, whatever you want to call him, Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman. I like both, but
Lois, since you're a huge fan of Sonic, I mean, your avatar is a Chow, for goodness sake. What do you call him?
Either one.
You don't have a preference either? Well, that's so fun. You know what?
Okay, how about it depends on which game I'm playing.
I'm gonna put a poll in chat for everyone to pick between Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Eggman. So
as crazy as it sounds, I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 50-50.
So I'm gonna do that here in just a moment. But go ahead and tell us why you love Dr. Robotnik.
It's just like the character design. I mean, you're supposed to hate him. He takes innocent animals and turns them into robots to go after, this cool main character. And in the sequel, the better sidekick than the main character in Tales. Yeah, I'm a Tales fan. Yeah, I mean, he's just one of those goofy antagonists that, he takes himself way too seriously, but then he gets dropped down a peg or two by them, the main characters because of what he is. So, I mean, there's not just one thing that he has done that makes him be like, oh, he's a cool antagonist. He's just a character that is just a funny antagonist that's trying to do these weird things with innocent animals in this game that has a plot, that doesn't have a plot, depending on which one you're playing with, Chaos Emeralds and everything like that. So I think really it's just the design more than anything, and what he's supposed to be for than he actually does. Kind of like Lord Helmet from he's like that to me.
Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And which Sonic game is that we're seeing him destroy the moon? That's
Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah. That I hear that one get mentioned a lot, so I think people are that's a pretty well loved one. Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's my number 1 Sonic game.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to, the poll is in chat. If you want to vote on YouTube at least on what do you call him, Robotnik or Dr. Eggman? So, all right. So I didn't realize that you were that big of a fan of the Sonic franchise, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a Tails fan than Sonic, but yeah. I mean, again, like I've talked about this many times. Like my grandparents' house was the Sega household, so I mean, I played a lot of Sonic 1, a lot of Sonic 2. So yeah, Sonic, Knuckles, and 3 are okay, but like 2's like my favorite. So,
2 is my favorite of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, since you guys are both pretty big Sonic fans, what is your take on the Sonic movies?
They're
Haven't seen
fun.
them.
What's that, Lois?
Haven't seen them.
Haven't seen him. Oh, because I've seen the first two. I haven't seen the third one, but
Yeah.
for the typical the dogma that video game movies have of just being terrible, they were pretty good, and I think they did really well, like box office wise. So I will watch the third one at some point. It's just I often say I rarely watch anything, so it'll be a long time till I get around to it because there's movies that I actually want to watch but I still haven't watched. But I will watch it at some point.
I just don't watch movies like hardly at all. Like even the Mario movie, I've seen that. I had to be dragged kicking and screaming to go see that.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched lots of movies in my time, in the past, so I can talk about movies like all day long and actors and stuff. It's just in the last few years, I just have watched barely anything. It's because basically whatever free time I have, I'd rather play video games than watch movies. So
there's a Zelda movie. There's a Zelda movie coming up, and I'm scared.
What? Launching a space shuttle out of a pyramid? WTF?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another day in the Sonic universe.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's like I'm very hesitant on the Zelda movies. Like, why don't they keep it animated like the Mario movie? Why are they making it live action? That makes no sense.
Because for some odd reason they think animation doesn't sell, but I don't understand why they think that.
Yeah, that's a dumb thought. So, all right. Well, then, Jason, I have to ask you. Oh, actually, I didn't answer this question for myself, so I'll ask you the question, then I'll answer it for myself because I didn't answer it myself. So, which game of Dr. Robotnik is your favorite?
Sonic 2 is my favorite game.
Okay.
It's not Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
No.
Okay.
or Sonic Spinball.
All right. So it's really funny that you mentioned that. So tell me a little bit about that game, Lois, because I'll tell you, there's I only know of it because of one reason. I didn't even know it existed until recently, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, really?
But tell me about this Mean Bean Machine game.
It's basically just a reskin of Puyo Puyo, which is a classic Japanese game.
Is that like one of those like puzzle gem matching games?
Drop 3, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's like a match 4, I think. I think 4 clears one.
Is it 4? Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Finally do it?
Usually when it's Puyo Puyo versus Tetris, I've always played Tetris because I am not good at Puyo Puyo.
Same. They put a reskin of Puyo Puyo into the Legend of Heroes Trails universe too, and I'm like, oh god.
Okay, I found it. So this is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's what we're talking about, right?
Now we are, yeah.
So it's on Genesis. So the reason it's funny that you mentioned that because the only reason why I know this game even existed is because on Retro Achievements I followed someone who is also a super completionist, and we joined around the same amount of time, and we played a lot of similar games. So I started following him, and there's only one. He's played 55 games, and the only one he hasn't beaten and got all the achievements, except for the game he's currently playing, because he like masters one game before he moves on to the next one. So the game he's playing through right now is Donkey Kong 64, so I don't count that one since he's in the process of doing it. This game, he started it in October of 2023, and he still has 4 achievements left, and it's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So I was like, I don't know why, but this game he started over 2 years ago and he still hasn't completed. He's got 4 achievements left. Every other game that he's played on Retro Achievements, he has all the achievements in except for this one. So that's the only reason why I knew this game exists. So I was curious, like, let me pull it up and see. Like, it doesn't sound like it's something that's all that difficult. I can't even see the way that Retro Achievements lays it out is I can't actually see what achievements they do or don't have unless I've also played the game. It's really annoying that I can't just go and see all the achievements that someone has in a game. So I don't know what those. Actually, I can do it this way. It's annoying. They don't seem like they'd be all that difficult, but starting from level 1, reach a score of 90,000 in exercise mode. Clear 600 beans in exercise mode, starting from level 1, reach level 50 in exercise mode, and complete the game without continuing in scenario mode on hardest difficulty without using passwords. That sounds difficult, but the rest of them don't sound all that difficult. They're worth 10, 10, and 25 points, whereas that last one's worth 100 points. So it's kind of surprising that he hasn't mastered this one game, and it's like one of his oldest games. So, yeah, so it's just funny that you mentioned the Mean Bean Machine. So, so as for myself, so as I said, my ongoing series antagonist that I really like is Sigma, but I didn't answer which one is my favorite. I would instinctively say Mega Man X3 because that's the one that's my favorite of all the Mega Man games, and that's one I played the most. Although Sigma and Mega Man X, at least his first form in Mega Man X1 is really cool because he's got the lightsaber. He's just super fast and annoying. But once you get it down, if you're fast enough, you can do it pretty easily without taking damage, but you got to be really, really fast. It's that second form with the floating hands and the lightning, and he's shooting fire everywhere. That form is a royal pain in the butt because he's basically immune to everything except for one weapon type, which is really, really, really stupid. And that's also one of my big issues with one of the bosses. I think it's in Mega Man 2, like classic Mega Man, not X, but classic Mega Man. I think it's Mega Man 2 at the very end. You fight, after you beat Wily, you fight the alien, or maybe it's the other way around. But one of them is only vulnerable to one weapon. If you run out of ammo, you're screwed. You can't beat it. You have to go start it all over again because there's no way to recover. Your energy doesn't refill after you die, and there's no enemies to kill to farm energy to get your energy back. So if you run out of ammo, you're screwed. So it's kind of like that because he's only immune to one weapon, and it's the rolling shield, which when you shoot it, it falls immediately. So it's got like an arc, so it doesn't shoot out straight. So you have to get like super close to him in order to even be able to hit him. So I'm not a fan of that form, but so I would have to say Mega Man X3 because both forms of Mega Man X3 I've gotten pretty good at beating without taking any damage on both forms, and in my opinion, they're more fair than that second form of Sigma in Mega Man X. So, yeah. All right. Anything else on? Oh, let's check in on the poll here. Anything else on Robotnik from either of you guys? And wait a second.
Oh, I got a question for you, Jason. What do you think about Robotnik now, like in modern games?
I mean, he's more just there, if that makes sense. Like, I really don't have an opinion on how he is now. Like, I wish he'd go back to like being more of the villain than kind of just there. If that makes sense too.
Yeah, I feel like ever since probably Sonic Colors,
Yeah.
he's just been kind of like a joke villain.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Before that,
yeah, like he had some seriousness to him. Now it's just like they're like, oh, he is more him than he is a threat in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that's kind of why I pulled up Sonic Adventure 2, because in this game he does some pretty serious stuff in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually kind of a scary antagonist in the way. Although he's arguably not an antagonist because you play as him.
Oh yeah, because you get but I mean you get to choose either one at one point. So I mean,
so then Sonic's the antagonist at one point. As
yeah,
well.
yeah, right,
So
yeah.
it's weird. But then, like in the true story at the end, none of them are. So
right.
There's somebody who's on my honorable mentions that is the playable character in the game, but he's still the antagonist. So there's not a lot of games that do that, where you're playing as the bad guy. But it was a fun game, so I threw him on my honorable mentions. So, all right. So before we move on here, I'll leave the poll running, but as of right now, we have 6 votes. And as Jason said, it's 50-50 between Robotnik and Eggman. Got 3 votes for each. So I'm going to leave that running through the whole stream unless we come up with something else to throw out a poll. So someone could tie break it before the end. Don't let me forget to pull the poll up before we end the stream.
Okay.
I want to, in case there's any more votes that come in. So, all right, let's see here. So, oh yeah, Sergey's saying why not both? We're talking about Robotnik and Eggman. We got T-Man goes either way. Giggity. Nightmares Adventure 2 is iconic. Let's see here. T-Man also loves Sonic Adventure 2. It's crazy because they reference that in the new Sonic movie, the destroying the moon thing. Okay. Landlow says he destroyed half the moon, but yeah, he was a menace in Adventure 2. All hail Shadow. So we got some Shadow fans. And Nightmare hasn't seen the movies, but he should. I like Shadow, and also voiced by one of my favorite actors in the movie, at least. And he's black and red, which are my favorite colors. So I'm automatically partial to him, even though I know next to nothing about him. I've never even played a game that has him. But T-Man says it's a great trilogy of movies. Talking about the Sonic movies. Hopefully, it still keeps going strong. I hope so as well. You guys got to watch the Knuckles TV show. James recommended it to me. It's good. Oh, that's right. I've heard them say good things about the Knuckles show. And Landlow says the most recent Sonic movie, the third one, is the best one. Oh, all right. Nightmare says we need an R-rated Shadow movie. Ooh. Is that where he's dual wielding his Desert Eagles? Well, at least I think they're Desert Eagles.
That would get me to go and see
it. An R-rated Shadow movie. Like, I'll be there day one.
Day zero.
Get
me in there.
He also says I'd watch more movies if I had someone to see them with. Yeah, same here. Yeah, T-Man's scared of the live action Zelda movie. Exactly. Just have it animated. Exactly. I hope it's good, but I just don't understand why they didn't show animated. So, dude says, yeah, Mean Bean Machine must have some hard achievements. Only one of those four actually sounds difficult, but I don't know anything about the game, so maybe they are all difficult. And Eggman, Landless says, Eggman still has his moments these days. They made him kind of like a
Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Which Thank you.
I think that's the cartoon from the 90s.
Oh, I did like that show as a kid, even though I wasn't a big fan of Sonic, but I did like that show. So thank you for that. I'm like, that looks like an acronym. I'm never going to be able to figure out what that acronym means. So think about it. I mean, there's a cutscene in the Lost World where he has savage lions. Professor Gerald is the antagonist in Sonic Adventure 2. I've never heard that name. Leonlo didn't like the Knuckles show. I guess I'm the minority on that. So yeah, well, to each their own. I don't know because I haven't seen it. So, all right. With that, we will move on to our number 3s. So, Lois, you want to kick off our number 3s?
Sure, why not? Let's see. Number 3. Number 3 is another one of those that I can kind of talk about, but kind of can't talk about like what happens later on because it'll spoil an entire 9-game series. And that is from the Trails series, of course.
I was going to guess, even though I have no idea how many games there are. I was like, Trails was going to be my guess.
Yeah, so this character's presence is known from the first game all the way through the 9th game. And that is Gileath Osborne. And basically, he is... A lot of people like to call him the Trails universe's Hitler. That's kind of accurate, kind of not. But he's basically the military leader of the Erebonian Empire, which is a huge problem throughout the entire series up until like the 9th game. He's also got an interesting backstory as well that I won't spoil here because that's a very important one. I don't know what else I can say about him, really. What you're looking at here is from the 3rd game. That's the first time that you see him in person. And it's actually via a flashback. So this is him visiting the queen of another country.
And what is this on? Is this like a DS game?
This was it came out
PSP, right?
in 2007, 2004 to 2007. That's when the Sky trilogy came out. It was on PC first, and then it went to PSP. So it was made with the PSP in mind.
Okay, yeah, that would have been my next guess. Like, this definitely looks like a handheld game. So
Yeah,
okay,
and this is very much upscaled. So this is the PC version.
the PC version. Okay, and so Light says Space Hitler. Although I don't think this game takes place in space.
No, think Fantasy Hitler.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, my guess would be Fantasy Hitler.
Yeah, although this series does delve into sci-fi a bit
Okay,
later on, mostly.
so you said he's the like the ongoing antagonist through the 9
Yep.
Trails games.
Yep. So he led the war against the country that he's visiting here in this cutscene, which happens 10 years before the first game. So that gets brought up in the story a lot. And then
So
here,
this is before he waged war on this country.
this is after that.
Oh, okay.
I believe this cutscene is in between the second and third game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
I'm trying to think of what else I can say without
spoiling it.
having too much spoilers. So, okay, I can think of one. He's the leader of the Erebonian Empire. The Trails of Cold Steel series, which is the 5th through 9th game, those take place in Erebonia. So he's like the big main focus of those games.
Okay. So, because his faction is always the enemy faction, though, right? You're not playing as his faction.
No.
All right.
You are allied with his faction, sort of, in some ways during parts of the story. But like it goes like there's like different weird movements in the story that makes that happen. So
Okay.
yeah.
So this is Gileath Osborne from Trails. And you said this is from the third of the Trails games. Is this same question that I asked Jason? Is this your favorite one of his character?
Oh no, he definitely shines most in the 9th game, Trails of Cold Steel 4.
Okay, so that's the last one then.
Oh yeah,
Kind of all
much
the stuff he's done over the games kind of comes to a head in that one then.
Yeah, and I have a lot of problems with that game specifically, but despite that, he still shines the most there. But the reason that's also the reason why he's like not higher on the list as well. He actually gets gimped in a certain way that I won't spoil as well, unfortunately.
Bummer. It's like,
yeah,
I'll never play these games guaranteed, so I don't mind you spoiling anything for me. But yeah, if you don't want to spoil it for people out there in the chat, I can understand. So,
Yep. I don't know what else I can add without spoiling too much.
So yeah, October Mike says Wolfenstein does have Hitler in space. That is correct.
True. I think another reason why people compare him to Hitler a lot is because the Erebonian country is kind of Germanic styled.
Okay.
This country they're in now is the liberal country that is based on either England or Spain, one of the two.
I was gonna say my guess would have been like some sort of British inspiration.
Yeah. And then there's also Calvert that's based off France as well. That's in the very late games. You get to visit those countries in the very late ones.
It's like, I could make some jokes, but I'm not going to.
Do it. Is it anti-French jokes? Because those are totally okay, right?
Yeah, it was. So,
all right.
So Nightmare says, suddenly I want a game with him as the playable character. I'm assuming he's talking about Gileath Osborne. Do a role reversal Trails game where you play as him as his faction. That could be interesting.
I wonder if they could.
That's always pretty interesting because seeing like the same events of something you've already either not necessarily just in video games, but like you go through some story and then you see it like the same story but from like another person's perspective. Like there's actually a couple. Shout out to Carl. He on his channel right now. He's having a Splinter Cell show, and there are a couple Splinter Cell books where the books cover the exact same events, but one is from Sam's perspective and one is from the team that is chasing him and trying to capture him. So that was a pretty cool like role reversal. So that'd be kind of a cool thing to do in a video game where you say, oh, you play through the game from this faction and now you play it from the other perspective. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, T-Man says PSP, the sprites are very nice. Yeah, it does look quite nice. But yeah, you said this is the PC version, so that makes sense. So you France, it's okay to make jokes on Chaos Trails streams. I love when Dracula, when Castlevania made Dracula the hero with Lords of Shadow. Yeah, that's not exactly what I meant, but that would qualify as well as kind of what I referenced earlier when talking about like antagonists that you play as. The Lords of Shadow games absolutely would qualify since you're playing as Dracula. Well, not in the first one because you're not Dracula yet. It's Lords of Shadow 2 where you actually play as Dracula. So, all right. So yeah, without spoiling too much, Gileath Osborne from the Trails series for lowest number 3. All right. Jason, you want to do your number 3?
Yep. My number 3 again. Can't talk antagonists unless you talk about this one. And my number 3 is Ganondorf. Ganon again, whoever you want to call him. Ganon, obviously,
Nice.
if it is human form kind of thing. Ganondorf, if he's in that monstrous kind of crazy, cool form that they eventually end up bringing out. But yeah, I mean, what can't you say about him? Like he's one of the true villains of the gaming world. Both forms, like I said, my favorite is in Link to the Past, but that's more of his like regular form. But like when they did the 3D and they have the bigger one that we're used to playing like in Smash, I think it's just a towering hulking guy, and it's kind of crazy.
So that was quite fortuitous because Ganondorf is also my number 3.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
So I'm over here like trying to keep it in without bursting out laughing. So yeah, Ganondorf is also my number 3. So that actually worked well. Wouldn't really have mattered which one of us had gone next on our number 3. So
And I have him in my honorable mentions. He'd probably be my number 6.
Okay. So yeah, I'm glad that you're showing Ocarina of Time because that is still to this day my number 1 favorite Zelda game, and not the game that got me into Zelda because that was Link's Awakening. But yeah, this is the first like Zelda game that I like really fell in love with. So when I think of Ganondorf, I think of Ocarina of Time Ganondorf. But it's been a really long time since I've played it, and I'm looking forward to playing it again a couple more times. But Ganondorf, Ocarina of Time Ganondorf would have to be my pick for favorite version of Ganondorf, but very closely followed by Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess Ganondorf is really good as well. But yeah, I also love Ganondorf in Smash Bros. He was, I don't know if he was, I would say he was my main for, but I did play as Ganondorf a lot because he was introduced in Melee, right?
Yeah.
And he was basically Ocarina of Time Ganondorf in Melee, and then Ganondorf in Brawl was basically Twilight Princess Ganondorf, right?
Yep.
I remember they changed it up a little bit, and I think I liked him better in Melee than I did in Brawl, but I still liked him in both. But I've heard, not that I've followed like the competitive scene or anything, but I've heard that Ganondorf has always been like really low on the, if you're like the competitive tier ranking of Smash characters. I hear that Ganondorf's always been at the bottom, but I've loved Ganondorf.
Yeah, he's at the very bottom in Ultimate.
In Ultimate, okay.
I think he is second to last in Smash 4. And then in Brawl, he's like third or fourth to last.
Smash 4, that's the 3DS one, right?
3DS, Wii U, yeah, both.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was forgetting about the Wii U. I never even played one.
I wonder why.
But
Melee, he was actually like mid tier. He was kind of like right in the middle.
okay. One thing that really annoyed me is someone told me about it was like I don't know if it would be called a ROM hack, but there was you could I don't even remember how I did it, but there was something you could do on your memory card, and when you played Melee, it like changed things. I don't remember how I did, but I did do it one time because someone told me like, oh, there's like Smash Bros, like Project M or something like that, and
That
there was
was
a
for
way
Brawl.
that was for Brawl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually played that a little bit.
Okay, it was Brawl. So, yeah, because I remember doing it on my Wii, but I wasn't sure if it was I was doing it through the backwards compatibility and just playing my Melee on my Wii, or whether it was actually for Smash Brawl. But there was other M. Somehow you could like modify your save file on your memory card, and then when you loaded up the game, it would load like a slightly different version of the game, and it was like made tweaks to characters to like kind of balance it. And they changed like I didn't mind any of the changes that any of the other characters, but they changed Ganondorf. And I'm like, God, Ganondorf sucks now. So they actually, in my opinion, they made him way worse. And that was the one where he was already, better than all the other, Smash Bros. After that. But I only played it like once or twice. I was like, I'm just gonna go back to playing the original one. But I remember they changed Ganondorf, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, the whole point of Project M was to make the Brawl game more competitively like interesting or viable or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense no.
Because Brawl was definitely the worst in that regard.
Yes. Yeah, can't argue with that.
It was horribly unbalanced, and then there was the whole tripping mechanic, and then there was
tripping was retarded.
All sorts of weird launch. There was something wrong with like the launch percentage thing. Like, what's the term? Launch power, like how far you send a character when you get hit. It somehow made Captain Falcon's Falcon Punch extremely weak in that game for some reason. So there was all sorts of horrible balancing in that game. So it needed work. But yeah.
So I'll catch up on the chat here in a moment, but there's some stuff that's really prevalent to what we're talking about right now. And yeah, dude said Melee in Melee is the best Ganondorf, and he was also a Ganondorf main in Smash. So I do remember that. But yeah, Nightmare says Brawl had tons of mods, including a Waluigi mod. And yeah, Crazy Landlord said Project M was for Brawl, so thank you for that clarification. Dude says that the Project M Ganondorf is actually good, and I hated it. So I'd be interesting on why you think he's good. Maybe we'll talk about that on our next Achievement Chasers.
He's better than Brawl Ganondorf, because Brawl Ganondorf is really bad compared to some of the other characters in that game.
That could be. Yeah, Landlord, yes, it says there's a mod that recently released called Rex, which I actually had a tab pulled up here on my other monitor for like a really long time to remind myself to check into. I haven't done it yet, but I did bookmark it so I can go check it out sometime. It's got 2 Ganondorfs and Master Chief. Yeah. But yeah, Ganondorf is probably if I was going like, childhood me, antagonist, Ganondorf would probably have been my number one back in the day. Because
same.
He's a great ongoing villain. So he's the other one in my list that's like an ongoing series long villain, and he's had so many different iterations and forms but there have also been plenty of Zelda games where he's like most of the Zelda games, like Ganon or Ganondorf in some form is, the main bad guy. But there have been a number of them where he hasn't been involved at all, like Link's Awakening.
Skyward Sword.
That's right. Demise, that was Skyward Sword, right?
Yeah, Girahim and Demise. I actually have Girahim in my honorable mentions as well.
Okay.
He's actually one of my favorite antagonists. Just, I don't know. I love how they portrayed him. He's like this flamboyant, like creepy guy, and he's kind of like throughout the story, he's kind of on the same level as Link rather than being like a super powerful villain or something like that.
Right.
So if it feels throughout the game, it feels like you're racing with him. So I really love that.
Okay. So, yeah, Nightmare also mentioned Majora's Mask has no Ganondorf
Yep.
in it either. So, but Demise is basically Ganondorf, though. Yeah, that is true. So, yeah, he's got he's had a lot of different cool forms and fights and stuff. So, and very iconic in the video game franchise. And so, yeah. Anybody else? Anything on Ganondorf? All right. So
He's awesome in Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, that was what was?
Never saw that.
Oh, that was one of the things I was thinking about earlier when I was talking about antagonists, where in some form or another, in some like spin-off games you can play as. I was thinking of Hyrule Warriors because I was like, I know you can play as Ganondorf in Hyrule Warriors because I watched your video that we were talking about last time on the how to fix the second one or no, what should be in the next one.
Yeah, they make a sequel to the actual first Hyrule Warriors game.
So, all right. So, there's some other stuff here in chat. Hey, right as I mentioned, Carl, he must have just finished his stream because he showed up. I said, hello, me, meet the real me. What's up, Carl? I will be definitely catching the replay on that Splinter Cell show because I am a huge fan of Splinter Cell. So I will definitely looking forward to catching that either tonight or tomorrow. So, dude says Twilight Princess is the superior Ganondorf, but Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker are also good picks. Yep, can't argue with that. And Nightmare, I think I always picture Twilight Princess Ganondorf when I picture him. That is a great version of Ganondorf, so that is totally understandable. And yeah, Melee Ganondorf is a lot like slower Captain Falcon. Yeah, he's is it Shadow Fighter? I always forget what the term is. For
Echo Fighter.
Echo Fighter, thank you. Yes, Ganondorf is an Echo Fighter of Captain Falcon.
Clone.
Yeah, clone
is the derogatory term, which I prefer.
Because I was a big fan of Captain Falcon since the beginning. So then we got a clone of him in Ganondorf. I really liked him. He's slower but more powerful. So and Landlo says I just wish they gave him more of an original moveset in Smash Bros.
Me too.
I don't mind, but I could understand that. Hey, Nerd Takes is here. What's up, Nerd Takes? I think you were on Carl's show talking about Splinter Cell. So yeah, I'll look forward to catching that one. So dude says no, he's last. Oh, in Brawl, Ganondorf is like bottom tier. He's 4th tier in Ultimate. Okay, I don't know how many tiers there are, but I don't play it competitively like Lowest does.
I'm basing mine on like outdated tier lists as well. I haven't looked in a long time.
So, yeah, lots of Smash Bros mods. So, there's actually a couple of Smash Bros hacks that also have retro achievement sets. I know there's one for N64 Smash, and there's also one for Melee. Brawl, not yet, since Wii doesn't have support, but I wouldn't be surprised if Project M gets an achievement set at some point.
It would be real nice if Nintendo would take the hint from all these Smash Bros hacks that are out there and put them in the actual game.
But Nintendo's always going to Nintendo, so I wouldn't hold my breath on that. So, yeah, Nightmare says Echo Fighter. Yeah, Carl saying that it was a good one, the Splinter Cell show. So, yeah, if you like Splinter Cell like I do, and I know Sergey/Light loves Splinter Cell as well, go check out Carl's Splinter Cell. I think it's the Legacy loading afterwards. So, what's funny is Dr. Mario and Ganon aren't officially considered Echo Fighters in Ultimate. How are they not? Do they have that different of a moveset?
Yeah, they're different enough.
Okay.
Especially Dr. Mario.
I don't even know if I've actually played as. I'm sure I played Dr. Mario for at least a couple minutes, but I don't know that I played him enough to even remember what he plays like. I remember what he plays like in Melee, but I never really cared for any version of Mario in Smash Bros.
For Dr. Mario, his down B and down air are different from Mario's, but like all of his moves have different properties than Mario's as well too.
Okay. Huh,
and then
that would make sense.
For Ganondorf, he has his sword for his smash attacks now. So,
gotcha. Okay. And Naira says, no, do not let Nintendo know about the hacks or they'll just DMCA them.
Oh, they know about them.
I was like, they know about it, but I don't think they
know
have
about
any.
them.
There's no legal leg to stand on because it's not like people are making any money off of it or anything. So they wouldn't legally be able to tell people to stop, right? I don't know the legality of it, but I would assume that they wouldn't be able to tell anybody to stop if they're not profiting off of it.
I think they could legally, but
yeah,
the reality is, what's that going to do?
Yeah,
those hacks and those stuff, all that stuff's still going to be out there on the internet.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to be able to get it. There's no point.
It's like, what's the point? It's like the Hydra. You shut down one site and it's just going to show up on 2 more sites. So
yeah. Yeah, and if you notice, a lot of the lawsuits of the people they've been actually gone after are people who have done really dumb things. Like the one guy who was pirating Switch games before they were even out and then streaming them to YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing about that.
It's like, come on, man.
So, yeah, like the legal cases they brought and won, they've usually had, a good reasoning for it. But then I know they just brought the case against Palworld and they actually lost that one. So
yeah, the Palworld lawsuit is just absolute BS.
Yeah. It's like Nintendo's like, you giving gaming a bad name. It's people like you that want to ruin everyone's fun. So yeah, Mike have Nintendo. So all right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our number. Oh shoot, I forgot to write the timestamp for number 3s. Shoot. I'll have to go back and get that later. So that will bring us into our number 2s. Let's see here. Oh, wait. No, never mind. I guess I'll go ahead and kick off our number 2s. So, yeah, make sure I got the right one. So this is a perfect opportunity to show off a really awesome thing that showed up in the mail today, or not today, Tuesday, because it was it's been delayed like multiple times. When I found out about it, it was supposed to release in June of this year, and it finally just released on Tuesday. And I know some other people who it arrived as well, but I used my birthday money this summer to pre-order it, and it showed up in the mail. And that is the Metroid Prime art book. And this thing is quite beefy. And this is like a coffee table book. So obviously my number 2 pick is coming from the Metroid Prime franchise. There's actually a couple of picks you could have from this. But I'll go ahead and kind of spoil. So I have 2 here listed, but that's just because there are 2 really good ones. But the one I'm going to mention first is technically an honorable mention, but it just goes too well right now. And that is probably the longest ongoing Metroid villain. So we got, see if you can see that, is Ridley. But that's actually my honorable mention because Ridley was in the original Metroid, and Ridley's shown up in kind of like the Ganondorf of Metroid. He's been in almost every Metroid game. Not all of them, though, but almost. But yeah, I haven't even looked through all of this yet, so I've thumbed through a few pages. But here's the Ridley page. And it technically Metroid Prime, he was Meta Ridley, which is even cooler. But my actual pick is basically you're at fault for creating this character at the end of the first Metroid. And it steals your Phazon suit, and that is Dark Samus is my number 2. So, Metroid be my second favorite franchise, and this is kind of so Ridley would be like the ongoing antagonist of the Metroid franchise in general, but Dark Samus is the ongoing antagonist of the Metroid Prime games, which are my favorite of the Metroid games, because while technically in Metroid Prime 1, it doesn't show, all you see of Dark Samus in Metroid Prime 1 is a hand popping out of a pool of Phazon at the end. It's like the last scene of the game. But then it's the main antagonist through Metroid Primes 2 and 3. And I just wanted to show off this really cool art book. So it's highly glossy, so it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, Dark Samus, as you see right there, that is your first fight against Dark Samus in the footage that Lois is showing. Although that must be a modded version because it says Dunkel Samus and it does not say that in the actual game.
Might be German.
Oh, it could be a German one. Okay, that would make sense. And this is actually the Wii trilogy version because it's got the motion controls, which I have not played yet, but I'm very much looking forward to playing it because I want to get my hands on the steelbook of this at some point. And unfortunately, the Metroid Prime trilogy is not going to have retro achievements when Wii gets retro achievements in March, but I am absolutely positive it'll get retro achievements at some point. But Metroid Prime 3 is, because that is, just Metroid Prime 3, whereas the trilogy is all 3 games that will have achievements at launch. So I'm very much looking forward to playing through 3 again for retro achievements. But this is the Metroid Prime trilogy on Wii version that we're looking at right here, but it's still the same game. So this is your first, because in Metroid Prime 2, you fight Dark Samus, I think 4 times throughout the entire game, and this is the first encounter with her, and she became an Echo Fighter in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I think I haven't put a whole. I've unlocked all the characters in Smash Ultimate, but I still have not played. I've only played a fraction of the amount of time with Smash Ultimate that I played all the other Smash Bros. Because that was back in the days where I had people to play it with. All of my Smash Bros. Ultimate has all been playing solo. Never actually played against anybody, so I haven't really spent a whole lot of. I spent a decent amount of time playing, just not as much as the other ones. But I do like that Dark Samus became an Echo Fighter in Smash Ultimate, and Ridley also became a character, which is really cool. But I do like, because Samus was my main in the original Smash Bros, so it was cool to see Dark Samus, who I've always been a big fan of, become a character in Smash Bros. And she's made up entirely of Phazon energy. And what stream was it? Or maybe I was talking to someone recently, but maybe it was a stream I was watching. If you read this is the second encounter with Dark Samus in Metroid Prime 2. But if you read all of the space pirate logs, they don't realize that at first they think that Dark Samus is actually you, and they're like, what is it? Summarizing is they're like, what's gotten into her? She's going like crazy. And then they eventually, figured out that that's just an evil clone of you. But Dark Samus is a cool character, and I really enjoyed the fights against her, except for the final one in Metroid Prime 2. The very final fight is kind of lame, but the first 3 are pretty good fights, because the final fight at the very end of the game, you're on a time limit, and depending on what difficulty you're playing it on determines how much time you have. And she spends most of the fight invulnerable, and you're just waiting till she does this one attack that you can actually collect the Phazon and shoot it back to her. So, but like we said, this is about the antagonists, not the boss fights themselves. So that last boss fight isn't great, but I just like Dark Samus as a character, and Samus is one of my favorite characters, and having an evil, cool-looking version of her that's based on my absolute favorite suit in all of Metroid. It's my favorite suit in all of Metroid is the Phazon suit you get at the towards the end of Metroid Prime. I'm still salty that is not a skin in Smash Ultimate. A lot of the other suits that she's had are skins, but not the Phazon suit. But at the end of Metroid Prime 1, the Metroid Prime latches onto you and steals your Phazon suit, and that's how Dark Samus comes to be. And so, yeah, she's crazy and basically a crack addict when it comes to Phazon, and just is addicted to it, and the power it gives her. But it eventually leads to her downfall. But I love Dark Samus as a cool character. Another one.
You telling me the moral of the story of Metroid Prime is don't be a junkie?
The argument could be made that is the moral of Metroid Primes 2 and 3. I've never thought about it that way, but you definitely could say that. I did see someone talking about it on a Reddit post about antagonists, and argument could be made for the SAX from Metroid Fusion, but that's only in one game, but is also a very similar, where it's an evil version of Samus in the 2D games. That argument could be made for that one as well, but I like Dark Samus way more. But if you're Dark Samus isn't actually scary though, but in the SAX in Metroid Fusion actually is scary because it's just so much more powerful than you. So every time that you encounter it, it's like you have no choice except to run until the very end of the game. You can stand a chance against it. So that could also be.
It's like a horror villain, basically.
It is, because you have to run and hide. And Metroid Fusion, despite being bright and colorful, has, when you encounter the SAX, it is kind of like it has some slight horror vibes.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not up for spooky. Not that I'm like scared of SAX, but it is funny. Like, because some of the encounters with SAX and Metroid Fusion, you can actually get by without alerting the SAX, but some of them you have to, and she's chasing you, like, oh crap, 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 and she'll kill you in like 2 shots because she's just so much more powerful than you. But SAX is not my pick, and Meta Ridley, or Ridley in general, is my honorable mention. But Dark Samus is my number 2. So, and dude is correct me. In Prime 2, you fight her 3 times. She has 2 scans, and thank you. That's why I was thinking there's 4 fights, is because you have to scan her twice in the final fight, because there's 2 different forms you have to scan her in. So, thank you for that correction, dude. So, and this is this footage right here is right after you beat the Emperor Ing, and then you have to then you have the escape sequence, and you have to fight Dark Samus for the 3rd time before the time runs out. So, anybody else on Dark Samus? All right.
Not really.
Nightmare said, "Did someone say dunk?" Unfortunately, yes, Dunkachino. Remember when they teased Ridley in 4, but then said, "Fine, he's a playable character." And all. Oh, in Smash 4. I thought it was about Metroid 4. It's a skin in. Yeah. Oh, really? Phazon Suit Samus is a skin in the Rex mod. Interesting. I'll have to. I was already interested in checking it out, but now you've definitely piqued my interest even more. So,
see, the fans are better than Nintendo. It's just how it's always been.
Yep, can't argue with that. Another good antagonist is Mr. Negative from Marvel Spider-Man. I don't know who that is, but I bet Nightmare does. I know he's a huge fan of Spider-Man, but he says Green Goblin is better. And Venom, that's another good one as well. So, all right.
I had one thing. I don't remember what happens at the end of Prime 3, and we have Prime 4 coming out soon. Do you think Dark Samus is going to come back or no?
I did just recently finish all of the Metroid games, and I finished with Metroid Primes 1, 2, and 3. I mean, they could bring it back, but I don't really know how, because Planet Phase is the source of all Phazon, and Planet Phase was destroyed at the end of Metroid Prime 3, so I don't really know how they could bring Dark Samus back. I mean, they always could write some bogus reason somehow Dark Samus returned. They could pull that, and Dark Samus could show up again. I don't think that they will, though. I think Silex is going to be the main antagonist. They're going to stick with that. They're not, like I was talking about earlier, where Mega Man X3, they tried to do a rug pull and be like, no, Sigma's not in this one. Dr. Doppler is the final boss. And like, surprise, Sigma's the final boss. I don't think they're going to do that and be like, surprise, Dark Samus is in it again. But I could be wrong. But I don't think
they
so.
They have to justify having the Metroid Prime name, though, don't they? Because isn't Dark Samus is like the remnant of the Metroid Prime?
That is a good point, because I heard someone make that exact point, is like, why is this still called Metroid Prime if there's not even a remnant? Yeah, exactly. Like Dark Samus, because Metroid Prime, you killed Metroid Prime in the first one, but that became Dark Samus in 2 and 3. And now if it is gone, then there really is no more any version of Metroid Prime in existence. So why is it still called Metroid Prime 4? That is a very good argument and a very good point. And we'll wait and see. I don't know.
They're going to do some sort of retcon. Oh, Silex was watching the whole time and stole the genes from Dark Samus's remains or something. Who knows?
They could. It doesn't really matter to me. I just need more Metroid Prime. I just hope it's good. So
that's what matters.
Yes. The Metroid games are another series that I've kind of like Mega Man. I've never played it for the plot. I've always played it for the gameplay, because most of the Metroid games have almost none to very little story. The only ones that actually like have some actual story to them is Metroid Fusion and unfortunately Other M.
Metroid Dread did a little bit too.
Yes, Metroid Dread definitely had more than most, but not as much as Fusion or Other M.
I think in spite of how little story there are in the games, I still think like the overall premise and plot and everything is still really interesting of the series.
Actually, Metroid Prime 3 has a decent amount of story in it as well. There's actually NPCs that you interact with and talk to and have dialogue with. So,
oh, you're thinking of story as is in terms of like dialogue and scenes and stuff like that. I'm thinking of it in terms of like backstory,
like the lore in general.
Yeah, which can also include dialogue and stuff too. But.
Yeah, that's a good distinction. Because I think the Metroid games do have great lore. It's just there's not a whole lot of it kind of front and center in a lot of the Metroid games.
Yeah.
So right here's what I was talking about. Most this fight, Dark Samus is just invincible, and you have to collect those phazon that she shoots out and then shoot it back to her, and you're just waiting for her to do that attack, and all the rest of the time she's invincible. So this last fight I remember is this not fight a well-designed fight, in my opinion, especially when you're on a timer and it's RNG. I still have to go back because I still have a couple achievements left on Metroid Prime 2 for retro achievements, and one of them is you have to beat Dark Samus in under a certain time limit, or you have to have a certain amount of time left on the timer. And when they originally released it, it was even harder, and they added more, like an extra 30 seconds. Because the time limit they originally had was just like too brutal, especially when it's just RNG. It's like she may go through a whole attack cycle and not even do that attack, and you're just like wasting time. So this boss fight in particular isn't horribly well designed. It's easy, it's just not well designed. But like I said, this is about the character and not the actual game mechanics. So I still really enjoy Dark Samus as an antagonist. So So crazy though, just pull a Star Fox Adventures for Dark Samus and just shoehorn her at the end like Andross. That would kind of be funny. So, all right. Jason, what is your number 2?
All right, so my number 2 is probably my favorite boss antagonist bad guy on the list. And that goes to one of my games, favorite games in
your favorite, but it's not number 1.
It's not number 1.
All right, you're gonna have to explain that to me.
I will.
Not either here or on number 1, but you're gonna have to explain.
I'll more likely explain on number 1.
All right.
All right. But my number 2 is Sephiroth.
Okay. I had a feeling that was gonna be on your list somewhere.
Yeah. So Sephiroth's my number 2. Again, one of my favorite games. I think he's gotten cooler as we got the remakes because he does more things to poke at the heroes of the game. He was just this war hero, perfect being that decided, hey, this planet is not worth it anymore. Then he had other things because he found out that he wasn't really who everybody said that he was, and he wanted to destroy the world. And then he ended up getting his comeuppings in the versions that we know. But as he always says, he could never truly die because he lives in memories. And then you just like, okay, whatever, you don't take that. And then he gets, a movie that makes kind of sense because he's in other things. And then now we get these sequels, remakes. Children? It was, yep. And then we get these sequels / remakes that show, oh no, he's pretty much a Terminator type being going through different worlds of the same thing, trying to make sure that he finally wins by destroying the people that beat him, and he still needs the main character's help to pretty much destroy the world and go with his plans. So as time goes, like his design's been always cool. The one-winged angel, always really cool to see that. Great way to hate him by killing one of the most beloved characters in the franchise. There's just a lot of things that he does that if you look at it his way, it's like, yeah, he has a reason to go crazy because he was lied to. He was supposed to do this. He was made from a certain thing. There's just a lot that he brings to the table that you're like, yeah, I can see why he's a villain, and he's justified. If destroying the planet wasn't such a bad thing, you could be like, yeah, you're justified for being angry, kind of thing. So, yeah, he's just been one of my favorite bosses, villains, pretty much since I first had him, in Final Fantasy VII. And as I get older and I see what they keep doing with him, I'm like, yeah, sometimes I take his side. He should win.
So, I know that so while we're on the topic of Final Fantasy, because I've been hearing this Final Fantasy intergrade lately.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's Final Fantasy Remake and Final Fantasy Rebirth. What the heck is intergrade?
Intergrade was the DLC part. It's just part of the story. And just separate from the cloud and stuff like that. So there was just the Intergrade story was like the Wutai War and everything like that. So is Intergrade a DLC that requires one of the games to play, or is it its own standalone thing? Standalone. Okay, and where does that is that like between? Because Intergrade is the new Final Fantasy VII, right? Well, Remake is the new one. Intergrade is while Remake is going on, but before Rebirth. Okay, so I was like, I just want to make sure Intergrade is in the modern Final Fantasy VII, not like way back in the original PS1. Well, I mean, Final Fantasy VII. Part of the Intergrade story has original stuff in it, right? But I just meant if you play Intergrade, it looks like what we're looking at here on Lois's screen, right? Yes. It's not like the graphics of PS1. No, it looks like that. Yeah. Okay. And it kind of takes place between Remake and sort of. Yeah, it runs a little parallel. Okay. Because I heard that one is coming to Xbox, and I was like, what the heck is that? So I just wanted to get some clarity on what the heck Intergrade was. Yeah. Okay. So, how do you like Sephiroth? Slightly going off topic from the actual character to more gameplay mechanics, but how do you like him in Smash? Yeah, he's awesome. Like his introduction to the game is one of my favorite trailers. Okay. Like I never thought he would be in there. I never thought we would get Cloud in there, let alone we got two characters from that franchise, and they're both awesome. Especially like his final Smash, having his final attack from the original game is like Supernova is insane. Okay. Oh yeah, I just pulled it up here. So it's coming to Xbox, but it's not released yet. No, I think it comes out at the same time as it comes out on the Switch 2, which is next year. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not seeing a release date here. I think January, February. Odd. But okay. All right. Yeah. And then Nightmare in chat, I agree. I want part 3 as bad as everyone else. Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. Nightmare says, I just want Remake part 3 already. Do we know what it's gonna be called? Not yet. I think we'll find that out in a couple months. Okay. It's gonna be something. We just don't know. A lot of returns is popping up now, so
it's gonna be that's it.
Just R with lots of E's after it.
Yep.
Okay. And this might sound like blasphemy, but how deeply invested I am in the Final Fantasy franchise.
I think you'd like this one because it's not turn-based.
Well, where I was going with that is in regards to the movies, because I've seen Advent Children, and I didn't really care for it, but I think that's actually like when I think about Final Fantasy, that movie is like what I would think of a Final Fantasy movie. But I didn't really care for the final Advent Children movie that much. But I did really like. This is what I'm assuming is blasphemy part, because I did really like Spirits Within, and I don't think that has like anything to do with Final Fantasy.
Spirits Within is bad,
but I like that movie. I don't remember anything. I barely remember anything about it because I saw them both so long ago. But I remember liking Spirits Within. I remember not really caring for Advent Children.
Advent Children's interesting, but Spirits Within is just awful.
So that's where I was like, I'm pretty sure this is blasphemy for Final Fantasy fans. But not being a fan of the franchise, that's I had the reverse take on those movies. Um, so, going with the same question again though, do you like Sephiroth better in classic Final Fantasy VII or in the remake series?
Oh, in the remakes, because he's literally a Terminator.
Okay.
Like there's scenes that he makes him more of like, he's a threat. There's a scene where he literally shows up in one of like Cloud's dreams where Aerith is trying to like save him, and he's like in a different world, and Aerith pushes him away, and in the background you could just see this hulking as big as he can Sephiroth just walking super slow towards her, because this Aerith knows that she's gonna die and trying to get Cloud out of there, and it's insane.
Okay. Interesting. Was not expecting, because I know you love both versions a lot, but I was not expecting you to like the new one even better. At least for Sephiroth.
Yeah, no, the Sephiroth in the newer ones is insane.
So dude was agreeing with you. Says the Sephiroth reveal trailer for Smash Ultimate was so hype. I don't think I ever saw that.
It's awesome. Like they show the screen, and next the screen gets cut in half, and then it reveals him, and it just goes through everything. It's bonkers.
Did basically all the characters that they added afterwards, did they all get their own reveal trailers?
I believe everybody got their own reveal trailers. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to go and watch those, because I didn't even play Smash Ultimate till I got my Switch last year after all the characters were out, so it wasn't like a surprise to me or anything.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure everyone got a reveal trailer, except for that were DLC characters, obviously not main cast.
So, all right, well, I'm gonna have to go check that out. Watch Smash Ultimate DLC reveal trailers. All right, wrote it down, so I will remember to go do that later on. So, Nightmare says he's a good villain for sure. Final Fantasy has so many good villains because there's so many characters.
Oh yeah, there's one. I mean, I can just say it already. Like a lot of people say Sephiroth is the weak Kefka from 6 because Kefka actually destroyed the world, and I can't fault him for saying that, but I just think he has a better reasoning in my opinion. But like Kefka's a great villain as well.
I've heard that name, but I don't know that I would recognize Kefka if I saw him. So, okay. October Mike says Sephiroth is innocent. Nightmare likes
in a way, yeah. I mean, in a way.
Nightmare says he likes Sephiroth's voice in the remake. All right, cool. Mike says blame Hojo. I have no idea who that is.
That he's not wrong. Professor Hojo is I think the true villain of the Final Fantasy VII, but that's another week. We can be on that discussion for a long time.
All right. And Liza Thanos was right.
Yeah.
So Integrate is basically a DLC for the remake. Thank you, Nightmare. It's Yuffie's story. Okay. Integrate is a mini story during the remake. DLC campaign. Just want the part 3 already. Funny, One Wing Angel in remake was called Rebirth, and that name got adapted for part 2.
Yeah, there's the fun thing about the new games is there's so many theories that people put together, and it's one of the best things to talk about. So and the people who are making the game, they know that too, so they drop little subtle hints in song names and then in stuff that they sing, so you can piece it together. And there's so much stuff that they give, and we just have to wait until the game comes out to see who was correct and all that stuff, but it's fun talking about.
Okay. And we see Barrett right there. So Mike says, want to know something? I met Bo Billingsley, the original voice of Barrett.
Very nice. Awesome.
So Nightmare says, I totally see the Terminator comparison. Nice. He's like a Force ghost. All the DLC characters got a reveal trailer except Piranha Plant. Thank you, dude. And Kefka was experimented on and became a madman. All right. Let's see here. Then that leaves us, unless anyone has anything else to say about Sephiroth.
I do have him in my honorable mentions as well.
All right.
I've only played the original 7 though, so I can only go based off that. But I liked him a lot in that game.
if you played the remakes, you would. I think he would have made number 5.
So
I'll wait till part 3.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to start them.
oh, you want them all to be out so you can play through them all back to back.
Yep, I don't want to be in that position.
It's fun though. It's
Understandable.
It's really fun being in the discussion about it. Like the games are great and fun and playing, but like the talking about and waiting for the next one is I think it's just as fun.
Yeah, all the theory crafting and stuff.
Mhm.
So
I don't do a lot of that. Maybe that's a personal fault of my own.
Yeah.
Oh well.
all right. Well, Los, what is your number 2?
Oh, my number two is a very, very simple one. Probably one of the funniest villains ever in video games, in my opinion. You guys want to take a guess at who that might be?
GLaDOS.
Funniest villains.
No.
Oh.
I haven't played those.
What? We must change that.
No.
I'll play co-op with you once you get through Portal 2.
Funniest.
I have something in mind, but I don't think it would be a game that would be up your alley. It's definitely I think it might be Jason's number 1. But we shall see. So I don't want to spoil what that is, so I'm not going to make a guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's Gruntilda the Witch from Banjo-Kazooie.
Ah, that is not what I was thinking.
I love Gruntilda so much. She is so hilariously stupid and ridiculous and disgusting in all the right ways. Especially if you learn the little factoids about her from her sister. Oh, it's so funny. I actually recently replayed Banjo-Kazooie just because I felt like it. I don't think that game is as replayable as a game like Mario 64. So I found like by the end of it, I was like, oh, this is kind of dragging. But seeing all the Gruntilda quotes and all the silly stuff that happens, it was worth it. Gruntilda is just super hilarious. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Is Gruntilda also the antagonist of Banjo-Tooie?
Yes.
Okay.
However, she shines more in Banjo-Kazooie 1.
Okay.
In Banjo-Tooie, they kind of... what she does in this game, she always talks in rhymes. In Banjo-Kazooie, they made her stop doing that. And as a result, I don't think she's as funny. She's still funny in that game too, though, but not nearly as much.
You said Banjo-Kazooie. You meant Banjo-Tooie, right?
In Banjo-Tooie, the second one, she stops talking in rhymes.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
she's not as funny in Banjo-Tooie as she is in the first one.
All right. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played. I mean, I rented Banjo-Kazooie as a kid. I don't think I ever beat it. I've never played Banjo-Tooie, but I have both of them on Xbox Live Arcade, so I'll be playing those versions, and I will also be playing the retro achievement versions from the N64. And there's actually I have a bunch of Banjo-Kazooie ROM hacks as well to play at some point.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to playing these because they from the little bit that I played of when I dived in, just got the first achievement in each of them, and from what little I remember playing back as a kid, like I said, when I rented it, I enjoyed it. So I look forward to playing through them in their entirety.
Yep, I love these two games. I actually like Banjo-Tooie more from a gameplay perspective.
Okay.
But this game is definitely solid. It holds up really well. It's not, but like I was saying earlier, it's not super replayable. If you like complete it one time, there's really not much reason to go back and play it again. So if you go back and play Mario 64, that game has so many more like control mechanics and stuff like that your playthrough is going to feel a little different each time. This game is not quite like that.
Okay.
So,
I was going to ask, it's like they're both 3D collectathons. So what is it that makes Mario 64 so much more replayable? So
it's because of all
my question.
Some people will say it's because of the glitches, which is partially true because that's one of the things that makes Mario 64 so hilarious. But yeah, this game is actually like really, really polished. So you're not going to find a lot of stuff like that or new things like that. so it won't be as replayable.
Okay.
It's also quite a bit longer than Mario 64.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're going for 100%, I don't know about like
Which
just
I
so
will be
normal.
doing.
Well, actually, if you're playing Banjo-Kazooie, you have to like almost 100% the game just to beat it anyway, so it's going to take longer.
Okay. Yeah, Mario 64. I mean, you have to collect stars to open up next world, but you don't need a huge chunk of them to get to the end of the game, right?
Yeah, you need 70 out of 120 in Mario 64. In Banjo-Kazooie, there's 100 jiggies. I believe you need 90 something. I don't remember exactly.
In each world, right?
100 total throughout the entire game.
There's only 100. Oh, jiggies. I was thinking of the musical notes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
jiggies.
there's 100 musical notes throughout each level. You need 810 to get to the end
Of the musical notes.
So yeah, so that means you need to have 90 in every single level.
Yeah.
In order to beat the game.
You have to get almost everything in the game just in order to get to the end of the game.
Yeah, basically.
That was one of my gripes with the first Overcooked. I never actually beat it because it's not like you can beat one level and the next level unlocks. You actually have to have the correct number of stars in order to unlock the next level. And the last couple levels require basically 3 stars in almost every single level. It's like that was bad game design choice in my opinion. So
Gotta get good, man.
That game is freaking hard.
I know it is, especially when you're in the trucks and you have to go back and forth, and they're
Yeah, and even if you're playing by yourself, you're still controlling 2 characters. You got to switch back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am looking forward to playing through these games.
Gruntilda also gets bonus points for having an awesome final boss fight.
And also bonus points for sexy Gruntilda.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I don't know how that fits into the story, but I do know that there is sexy Gruntilda.
So the story is she captures Banjo's younger sister to steal her beauty.
That's right.
And if you get
name?
Tootie?
Tootie. I was like, I think it's Tootie, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so you see sexy Gruntilda if you get a game over. There's like a whole game over sequence where you watch her get transformed. And you also get to watch Tootie get transformed into an ugly abomination as well. Oh. So it's pretty silly.
Oh, you know what? That just gave me an idea for I don't know about a top 5, but definitely a party chat topic.
Best game over sequences. Oh, I already know my number one. I know what my number one is immediately as soon as you said that.
So thank you. You know what? Let me write down your name because you were the one that gave me the idea. Lowest. All right. So if we ever talk about that on party chat, or if we ever do it on top 5, we'll give you the credit.
Yeah. There's a very obvious, very easy answer to that one, but I'll save it for the topic.
I have something that immediately pops into mind, but I'd have to go and do some homework to see if it is actually number 1. But thanks for giving me that idea. Oh, I didn't. There we go. I forgot a word. It said best game sequences. Forgot the word over. Game over.
Oh.
So, okay. So that's the plot of the first one, right? Gruntilda's trying to steal Tootie's beauty. What's the plot of the second one?
The plot of the second one is Grunty comes back to life. She's like a skeleton zombie witch, basically. And the whole plot is she just wants to get revenge. That's basically it. And it's not nearly as funny. One of the characters actually dies in the beginning of the game, which is an interesting choice. But it's like the edgier Banjo-Kazooie game, basically.
Yeah, because from what I've heard, most people like the first one more than the second one. But you think the second one is actually a better game?
From a gameplay perspective, I don't know if I'd say better. I just like it more because it's a lot more complex and more difficult to beat the levels and stuff.
Gotcha.
Though there are some parts that absolutely suck, but that's true of this game as well. Actually, there's some of the levels in Banjo-Kazooie I really did not like, and going back through them the few weeks ago, I was like, oh god. I tried to skip one entirely, but it just does not let you because you need the 810 notes to win the game.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you? I know this is the last top 5, but would this potentially be a game where you'd want a sequel to it? Because Nuts and Bolts doesn't exist. Did you ever play Nuts and Bolts?
I never had a 360, so I never had a
That's
chance.
right. That's right.
I probably would have tried it.
I played the demo.
I would have given it a chance. From what I hear,
it's actually
like
a decent game, just not a good banjo game.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Like as a game, it's fine, but as a banjo game, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So I've played the demo on the Xbox magazine disc way back in the day, but all right. What else was I going to ask? I don't remember, but so dude says Gruntilda's boss fight is buggy. The Jinjo statues can sometimes spawn without their hitboxes. Had a couple of no-hit runs fail because of that. Bummer. So
What?
I'm assuming I'll probably run into that as well when I get around to doing the achievements for this one.
That really sucks. So when I didn't do like a no-hit run or anything like that, I just played the game normally. But when I did the last boss fight, I refrained from getting the health upgrade and the item capacity upgrades. So it was a bit more challenging.
Okay. I want
and
to
I
say
did.
that the retro achievements has an achievement for beating the game without upgrading your health.
Okay.
But sound like you were about to say
doable.
one other thing.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, let's see here. There is an achievement for beating Grunty without taking damage. Complete the game without extending the life bar. Yep, that's the one. Collect all Mumbo tokens. That's missable. So I guess those... that sounds surprising for a collectathon, having missable collectibles. Do you know why that's the case? The Mumbo tokens are missable? Since
No.
you just played it? Okay.
I'm trying to think of a place like in the game where you can't go back to, and I can't think of one.
Or maybe there's something you have to do to unlock one, and if you miss the timing. So
yeah, I don't know. Or it could be like a platform that moves and you can no longer get it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, that was one of the other things I was going to ask you. Because one thing that I remember from I don't remember if I ever did this as a kid, but I remember seeing this on videos, is that there is a place that you can go and put in cheat codes on the ground. And if you do too many, Grunty will delete your file, your save data. Did you know about that?
I probably knew about that, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, if you because I think it's like on this beach level, and you go into this cave, and there's all these letters on the ground, and you have to do the ground stomp attack, and you can spell stuff out and do cheat codes. And I think every time you do one, you hear Grunty like berates you, and she's like, if you do too many, there'll be consequences or something. I think it's if you do a third cheat code, you'll get your save file deleted.
Yeah, I remember how to do the cheat codes and stuff like that. I just don't remember the file deletion thing.
Yeah.
It's probably it's too long ago to remember for me, I guess.
So dude's coming with clarification on the Mumbo tokens. There's one Mumbo token in the pyramid you drain the water in, and it can't be reached once you drain the water. Okay. So I just need to keep that in mind when I play it. Don't drain the water until I get that Mumbo token. All right. Thank you, dude.
I wonder if I got it.
So
I don't remember. Probably not.
All right. Any other Jason, have you played banjo games?
Nope. They're too collectathon-y.
Okay.
Too much.
I don't mind that. I just never owned it and only rented it, so I never got around to playing it, but I always wanted to. So
yeah, it's too much. If I miss something, I wouldn't like it. So yeah.
Whoa, hold on a second. Too collectathon-y. I'm getting mixed up, but didn't you play Donkey Kong 64?
I don't like Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you liked Donkey Kong 64, but okay, that makes sense.
I love Donkey Kong 64.
That is also a 3D collectathon of collectathons. So, all right. Okay. Well, that will Yep, I did. Yep. Okay, just want to make sure we got it all. So that wraps up our number twos. So before we get into our number ones, we will go to our honorable mentions. So, anybody want to go first?
I can, I guess. Yeah. So a couple of mine. I had Sigma as well in my honorable mentions. I had Dr. Wily as well. GLaDOS is that we had just got done mentioning. I got to call up my Resident Evil guys, so I put Nemesis and I put Wesker. They just fit that game really well.
Okay,
then,
I thought Wesker was going to be your number one.
No. Wesker is a villain, but he's a villain. And then my two other ones, one was Pyramid Head. I just like the design and what it represents. And then one that I put on here, just because I thought it was funny and we were talking video games. I saw it mentioned on somebody's list, and I was thinking that wouldn't make the list, but it'd be really funny to say. Somebody put the camera, and I agree. The camera is one of the biggest antagonists in video game history on certain games.
That is a really good joke.
That's very
answer.
true. Oh, that happened to me while I was playing Banjo-Kazooie, actually. That camera is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be worse than Mario 64.
I was just going to say, aren't the cameras in Mario 64 and Banjo very similar?
I'd say so. A lot of people say Mario 64 was worse because of how limited it is. But I think Banjo-Kazooie, the camera was screwing me over so much in that game. Way more than when I replayed Mario 64 like right before it too.
Okay.
And I really noticed how bad it was.
Yeah, that's another one I'll be playing through soon-ish. Somebody make even though I don't think I'm going to make it through very many of them before the end of the year, because Canadian challenged me to Mario Sunshine. I'm playing all the ones leading up to it, so I don't think I'm going to get through it before the end of the year for our challenge. But even if I don't, I will still continue my playthrough, and I'm going to play through at least Galaxy 2, because Galaxy 1 and 2 are getting retro achievements. So it's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and play them.
Another game where the camera is the main antagonist is Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Horrible camera on those games.
For me, the first thing that comes to mind is one of my favorite games of all time, because that was most people's complaint with the game is when it came out. Ninja Gaiden / Ninja Gaiden Black. That was most people's complaint with it, outside of it being incredibly difficult, was the camera. I've got, since I played it so much, I've gotten used to it, and I don't really have much of a difficulty with the camera. But I remember hating the camera before I, got used to it, and just like knowing how it works and getting used to it. I was one of the people I can't stand the camera, but it doesn't bother me now. And so, Landlo says, yeah, that's actually evil, deleting a save file because of too many cheats activated. Yeah. So speaking of deleted saves, I just re-downloaded Doom Dark Ages. Both my save files got deleted. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, emoji of crying. I totally get that. I haven't played Dark Ages yet, but I'm looking forward to getting around to it. Similar to similar to the Mario games, I'm going to do Dark Ages, but I'm playing through all the previous ones first, and so it's going to take a while till I get to it.
Oh, how about the camera in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask? You have one button to change the camera, which is the Z button.
Yeah, that's true. That
was always weird
so long since I played it. I don't remember typically so Crazy Land, jumping ahead a couple comments here. Crazy Land says camera in early 3D games can be a dick even to the PS2 era.
Yep.
Which is very true, especially with things like Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64. I don't think that the camera in like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask was that bad. It's
not, because for the most part throughout the game, the camera's always seems to be in just the right spot. Like, it's not too far, it's not too close. So if you just all you have to do is change the way it's facing by pressing Z. So it's manageable.
Yeah.
But usually the camera follows you in just the right way, whereas in games like Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, it does not.
Yes, they seem to do, in my opinion, a better job of camera placement when you're not manually controlling it, essentially, in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask than Mario and Banjo. So
I thought of another one though. The first Drakengard game on the PS2. That game actually might have the worst camera I've ever seen ever. From what I remember, the camera is always behind your character, and you can turn the camera like 60 degrees to the left and 60 degrees to the right. But when you let go of the right thumbstick, it goes back to behind you.
Oh.
So if you want a different view, you have to hold the camera in that position in order to look a certain direction while you're moving. And then it's absolutely horrible.
Fortunately, you don't need to do it that much, but the camera works exactly the same in the Tony Hawk 1+2 and 3+4 remakes, where if you want to like look around, you have to hold the joystick over. But usually, you don't have to do that. It's only if you're looking for, like one of the skate letters or something. Usually, the camera's like right where you want it to be. But if you're looking for something, it can be a little annoying because the camera automatically recenters behind you as soon as you let go of the joystick.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If in the original PS1 N64 versions, you could not change the camera at all, could you?
It's been so long since I played.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you could. I think it was just always stuck behind you.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think you're right, because like in Mario and Banjo, the camera controls are the C buttons, right? But in Tony Hawk, the C buttons were for your different tricks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right that you had no control of the camera in the first one.
And I believe when they got to the GameCube, then they let you use the C stick to move around the camera.
That sounds about right. So, for Craig Lance, I remember GTA San Andreas. If you use too many cheats during the story, you could soft lock your story progress because it makes a later mission impossible to beat. Really, I've not played that one since I'm not big on the GTA franchise, but that's interesting. You can soft lock the game by cheating, essentially.
Yep, I remember using cheats a lot in that game, but only after I beat it, so I didn't have to worry about that, I guess.
Okay. So all right. Let's see here. So all right. Well, I will go with my honorable mentions. And not really any particular order, but one that these two are probably the ones that were closest for making my list, and that would be Joker from the Arkham games. Because I love how, like, it's another one of those cases of like good villain, bad game mechanics. Like his boss fight at the end of Arkham Asylum is kind of a drag, and that's like a lot of people's like main complaint with Arkham Asylum is just how disappointing the final boss fight was. But he was a great antagonist in that one, and even better in City. And then
was that the hulking Joker one?
Yes, that was. He took the Titan formula, and you fight giant Joker at the end of Arkham Asylum, but most of the fight is he just stands up on a wall and sends his thugs after you, and you're fighting the thugs, and then every once in a while he hops down, and then you do like one combo, and then he goes back up on the wall, and you fight thugs again. It's like rinse repeat like 3 or 4 times, and that's the end of the boss fight. So it's a very underwhelming boss fight.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in I believe it was the top 10 worst final bosses video, and that one was on there.
Yes, I've seen that.
I've never heard anybody like praise that fight before.
No, it's absolutely a bad mechanic boss fight.
It seems like it's out of character for Joker as well.
That's another point people make is like it isn't something Joker would do.
It seems ridiculous.
I think my guess is that they were running low on time and they just had to like kind of quickly come up with the final boss fight in order to get the game out on time is my headcanon. But
we can blame Warner Brothers. I'm okay with that.
But yeah, Nightmare. Yeah, I know my guess is this would probably be his number one if he was on the panel tonight, because I know how much he loves the Arkham games. But Joker is an amazing villain, but a bland fight. Exactly. Because they did him, he was a really great villain in 2. And then, spoilers, he dies at the end of 2, but he's still in 3 as like a manifestation in your head. And I know some people didn't like that. I thought it was freaking genius. I loved how he's in your head. Basically like Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk. Which is Keanu Reeves' character. He's not actually there. You only see him in your head. And same thing with Joker in Arkham Knight is you see Joker in your head and you can talk to him, but he's not alive. He's actually dead. But the way they did that, I just think was fantastic. So I loved his overall like character usage throughout the Arkham games. So yeah, Landlow is agreeing that was so underwhelming, and Joker's your favorite Batman villain. He's a great villain. So, and then my next one is a toss-up between Jarek from Jedi Knight and Dasan from Jedi Outcast, because the Kyle Katarn series of Star Wars games are my favorite Star Wars games, and they're both. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Jarek is a better villain, but I do like Dasan as well. Jedi Outcast is a far better game. But I think Jarek is probably a slightly better antagonist. Another one, I'm not a huge fan of this franchise, but I'm enjoying it much more playing through it with Jason. But the villain is absolutely fantastic. It's Handsome Jack. So because I'm not a huge Borderlands fan, Handsome Jack is in my honorable mentions, but he's a great villain.
He's in mine too.
Another one I know Nightmare will like is the antagonist of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Senator Armstrong. He's really freaking great. And I didn't expect him to be the actual final boss. I'm like, I mean, sure, he's muscly, but how is this guy going to be a final boss? And like, oh, okay, so he's basically like an android almost. But yeah, he's just so over the top and bombastic. And then another faction that is a great antagonist is the Flood from Halo. They consume everything, and the whole trilogies, wiping them out essentially without wiping out all of the organics. Or actually, Flood is organic, but without wiping out all the sentient, people in the galaxy. And then the one that I was referring to earlier, that's in my honorable mentions. That's actually the playable antagonist. That's from Prototype. That's Alex Mercer. Those games are a lot of fun. You play as essentially the bad guy, but you are the protagonist of the game, but you're still also an antagonist because you're basically the one that caused a lot of this stuff to happen and basically the destruction of New York City. But those games are a lot of fun. So let's see here.
That reminds me of something, actually. I didn't include this on my honorable mentions list, but I played a game called Dungeons 4 2 years ago.
Never heard of it.
It's a PC game where you build your own little dungeon underground and the heroes try to invade it. And
I do know about that game. That's right.
So you basically are the villains of the story.
Yeah, you're building the dungeons to try to wipe out the heroes as they come through the dungeons.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that game.
I loved that game. That was so much fun. And it was so goofy too.
Never played it, but I remember hearing about it. So, Crazy Landlord was right there with me. He said he loved how Joker was messing with Batman's mind in Arkham Knight. Same here. Nightmare says, hot take, the Arkham Origins Deathstroke fight was also underwhelming. Just a QTE fest.
Ew.
I get where you're coming from, but I disagree. I mean, there were some QTEs in it, but there was an achievement for beating it without taking damage, and that was tough. But just if you're just going in to beat it without going for that achievement, I don't know how difficult that would be. But yeah, beating it, because I did that like my first encounter with him. I'm like, no, I'm getting this achievement before I move on. I spent a lot of time fighting him before I got that achievement. So I didn't think it was a QTE fest. Otherwise, it would have been much easier, in my opinion. So yeah, Nightmare Nano Machine, son, tied by Senator Armstrong. That's the game that I've got in my backlog that I need to play through again because it's been way too long since I played it. So Nightmare says, I was so mad when Prototype 2 wiped away all the character development of Alex Mercer. I haven't played 2. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. So at some point, I will understand what you're talking about. And Landlow says, the Prophet of Truth in Halo 2 was a menace. Then he became kind of insane in Halo 3. The Deathstroke fight. Nightmare says, I can beat it without damage easily. Just use the Bat Claw. Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't played Origins in a really long time, but it was, the Deathstroke fight is like pretty early on in the game, so I wasn't really like used to the combat yet. So I did it, but it took a while. What was that?
Which Prophet was the one that you fight in Halo 2?
I thought it was the Prophet of Regret, but I could be wrong about that.
That fight was a pain on Legendary. Holy crap.
I just did that a few months ago with my buddy. We were playing through Halo 2 co-op on Legendary. Not all of it, just certain levels. And yeah, that was one of the levels we did. And God, beating that freaking boss fight on Legendary was a pain in the ass.
Getting up to him was a pain too, because you had those jackal snipers all over the place that kill you in one hit when they shoot you in the foot.
Okay.
Man. That was
Yeah.
there's some parts of Legendary in that game that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Halo 2 on Legendary is by far the worst of all of them because it's just, especially because if one person dies, you automatically go back to the last checkpoint, which is a difficulty setting on all the other ones, which is the Iron Skull. That's how the Iron Skull works in all the other ones. But Halo 2, it's just basically on by default. And
Oh my God.
Jackals can one-shot you even in the toe and it'll kill you. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Halo
what's
2 on
funny is
Legendary is garbage.
that's the one I beat on Legendary. That's the only one I've beat on Legendary. Or I think that's the only one I've played completely from start to finish.
Oh, all the other ones on Legendary, I mean, they're tough, but they're nowhere near as tough as Halo 2.
Yeah.
So, Latno came in and, I was correct. Yeah, the Prophet of Regret was the one that you fought in Halo 2. Halo
Okay.
2 Legendary was untested. That's why it sucks. That would make perfect sense.
I believe it.
I do too. All right. Lois, did you have any honorable mentions you hadn't mentioned yet?
Yes. A lot of these have been mentioned, so I'll just read through them real quickly.
All right.
And these are kind of in order, starting from like number 6. Ganondorf, Eggman, Robotnik, Sephiroth. The antagonists of the Trails in the Sky trilogy, not Gileath Osborne, but the actual antagonists of that happened in the story of Trails in the Sky. I don't want to say who they are because it's kind of a spoiler. And there's a few of them on here that are like that too. So Girahim next, the antagonist of the first Disgaea. It's also a spoiler. King K. Rool is an awesome villain.
Okay.
I think they one-up themselves with Gruntilda though, because she's just so dang funny.
If I was to add one more of my honorable mentions, it would have been King K. Rool because I'm a big fan of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I love him in Smash too.
I had played it as him, but barely at all. So I'm not used. I don't know how I like him as a playable character.
He's a really funny character once you get to figure out how he works. Then I also have Bowser. I'm shocked that I'm the only one who mentioned him, to be honest. Wario also. Wario was an antagonist at one point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just not huge in the Mario franchise, so that's why Bowser's not on my list.
Okay. Yeah, Wario was the antagonist of Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy, and that was the first Mario game that I beat, I believe.
Okay, I think I remember you mentioned that before.
Yeah. It's definitely the first one that I played. I don't know if it was the first one I beat, though. Anyway, moving on, we have Ridley, which we talked about. The antagonist of the first 2 are Tonelico games, which is a spoiler. Can't say who they are. The Shadow Lord from Nier, the first one.
Okay.
Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh.
Seymour from Final Fantasy X.
Uprising is that one on the 3DS that you really like, right? That
I love hate.
Yes, that's right. I was like, you love it, but you hate it as well. Because, all right.
Yep. The boss from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. The antagonists of Drakengard 1 and 3, which is a spoiler. The antagonist of Valkyrie Profile 2, which is also a spoiler. Chaos from Sonic Adventure 1. Satoru Simonardi from Golden Sun. Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Silver and N from the Pokemon series. The Mongolian guy from Ghost of Tsushima, which I can't remember his name.
Oh, I haven't finished it, but I will be going back and 100%ing that at some point.
Yeah, that guy was a really good antagonist. Egil from Xenoblade 1.
Was it Kodokan? Or Kotan-Kon?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I just Googled Ghost of Tsushima antagonist, and Kotan-Kon is what comes up. Yeah, that's him. So, sorry, what was that last one that you said?
Egil from Xenoblade 1. And then my last one on the list are Jin and Malus from Xenoblade 2, because I wanted them to win because I hated the protagonists.
All right. Well, you had quite the list of honorable mentions.
First, you Mongolians.
Yeah, we said Mongolians. I'm thinking of the City Walk guy from South Park. Oh, yep. I hate Mongolians. Oh. And yeah, half your list is I can't even tell you who they are because it's a spoiler.
Mhm.
That's great. Oh, Light said it as well. Mongolians. Yeah, he was peak. Will not play Ghost of Wokai. To each their own.
That was one of the things.
Mongolians.
Like, I had to put big, giant, blazing spoiler warnings when I was making my JRPG antagonist video, because some of them, like, you don't know who the antagonists really are until a certain point in the story, and then if you tell someone that before they play it, it's gonna spoil the entire game, basically.
Yeah, understandable. So, all right. Sorry, Jason, did we get all your honorable mentions? Okay, I wasn't sure if I actually cut you off and then got distracted and went to Lois without letting you finish. So, all right. Then with that will bring us into our number ones. So, let's see here. I think I'll go ahead and go first, and then Lois, and then we'll finish off with Jason. So, so mine is also somebody that we've mentioned a couple times. I think both of your honorable mentions, but
Ooh.
we got right here, not this, but from Portal, GLaDOS.
Yep.
So I was going to sing the song. This is a triumph, but I don't really sing that much. But yeah, GLaDOS is, I put that when we did this topic on Party Chat a while ago of like favorite antagonists, and GLaDOS was also my answer then as well. So I automatically knew what was going to be my number one for tonight for top 5 antagonists. And this is what I was thinking of when you said funniest antagonist earlier. I was thinking of GLaDOS because she's just one of the most well-written antagonists of all time. And I just love the frenemy relationship you have with her through both games. She's like always antagonizing you and egging you on, and then you end up having to work together in Portal 2. So in Portal 2, she's actually, that's kind of a slight spoiler as well, because she's the antagonist at the beginning of the game, but not throughout the entire game, because you have to team up with her to take on the actual antagonist. So little spoilers right there, but just how well written she is. She's constantly making jabs at you and constantly making fun of Wheatley, because that's Wheatley that we see right in front of you. This is the beginning of Portal 2, I believe. And Wheatley is a moron, so she now has someone else to rag on, and she's just such a great villain. And she gets plugged into a potato, and she's stuck to your gun for I think the entire second half of Portal 2. Just such a great, well-written character. And her boss fight in Portal 1 is really great, because I really love well-designed. I mean, it's a puzzle game, so it's obviously going to be like a puzzle boss fight, but I really enjoy, because I love puzzle games, I really enjoy puzzle boss fights. And they did the same thing in Portal 2 with a puzzle boss fight, because you only have a portal gun. You don't actually have an actual gun. So, the boss fight in both of them are puzzle boss fights, and they're both really good. So the mechanics, I think, are great, and just how well written she is. And in addition, it's not GLaDOS, but I love the turrets in the game as well, and the voices that they have are freaking hilarious, and they almost make you feel sorry for them. Just overall, in general, just both Portals just so well written, and despite being like a dystopia, because they hint that everyone else in the world is gone essentially, and you could be the last human still alive. Despite being so dystopian, it's still so lighthearted and fun. I just love the Portal games, because they're also, in my opinion, the best puzzle games of all time as well. And there's so much character to them, is a good way to put it. Despite having a mute antagonist, just like Gordon Freeman in Half-Life, who doesn't speak. Shell doesn't speak either, but the characters around you are just so full of character. I love these games so much, and there's literally nothing I can say bad about either of the Portal games and the characters in them. Oh, another not an antagonist, but another great character that you never even see, other than you see a portrait of him in Portal 2, but you hear his voice throughout the game, is Cave Johnson. voiced by J.K. Simmons, another fantastic character, and I love every line of dialogue from him as well. So, yeah, I could go on and on about just everything is literally perfect about Portal, and that's why when we talk. If we could ever get one Valve game to number 3, my pick is for Portal. I want a Portal 3 more than I want a Half-Life 3, even though I would kill for Half-Life 3. But yeah, so GLaDOS is my number 1 favorite antagonist just because of how well written she is. So yeah, Nightmare's there. I love Cave Johnson. He is so great. What am I going to do with these damn lemons? You make life take the lemons back. He's got so many great rants in that game. But yeah,
can there be a Portal 3 based on what happens in the story?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why it can be there.
I've been spoiled on a lot of stuff from these games, but not. It's all kind of vague now, so I should probably play them. I feel like the more times I come in here and do these top 5s, the more I'm going to be spoiled again. Might as well play them soon, huh?
Yeah, and Portal 1 is super short. It's the first time playthrough take like 2, maybe 3 hours. A speed run you could do in an hour. Portal 2 is definitely much longer. First time playthrough is probably like 12 to 15 hours. So they really added. The first one is more of like a playable tech demo, whereas the second one is actually like a full fleshed out game. And then the second one has the entire co-op campaign, which is set after the main campaign, and it's not like the single player campaign in co-op. It's an entirely separate co-op campaign designed for 2 people. So if you ever want a co-op partner for Portal 2, let me know. Although it is best when played with someone else who hasn't played it and you're figuring it out together. But
I'll probably do that. I'm very strict on going in as blind as possible to most games. So
okay,
especially something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely best playing through Portal's co-op with someone who also has not played it, but given how long it's been out, that might be difficult to find. But I'm always happy to play Portal 2 co-op on Xbox or on PC. So if anyone ever needs a Portal co-op partner, let me know. I'm happy to play it because I love this game so much.
All right.
So, Jason, you played Portal. Anything else you want to?
Oh, I mean, yeah, GLaDOS was like, I mean, when the game first got announced, and you're just like, oh, cool, it's a game you have to carry a cube around, and it's not a gravity gun, it's a portal gun. And then you're like, how is this going to be a game that's based in the Half-Life universe? And then you find out that this voice is the villain, and you just realize how snarky and how funny she is. And then you're just waiting, like throughout the entire puzzles after you're doing, you're just getting to the next time where she speaks just to make fun of you, or just to kind of like edge you to keep going because you want to know what the next line is, or you want to know what's going on. And then yeah, she's great.
Yeah, like the main character you play as, you technically don't ever see your character because it's entirely in first person, but you can place portals in separate spots. You can look through it and see yourself. And your character is a woman and is very fit, but GLaDOS is constantly making fat jokes at you, which is really great. And another thing is in Portal 2, there's a couple of hidden GLaDOS dialogue and Wheatley dialogue sections as well, and there's achievements for them. So if you do play through it without like looking up what the dialogue is, I definitely recommend making sure to go out of your way to find those dialogues, because some of those dialogue sections are really funny. So all right, well, with that, I guess we'll go to Lois for his number 1.
All right. If anyone's seen my top 10 video, you know who it is. It's a character that's stuck out to me ever since I played it all the way back in 2012, and will probably always be not just my favorite antagonist, but probably my favorite character of all time. Ooh. And it's one you guys probably haven't seen or heard of. Do you guys know of Xenosaga?
I know of the franchise. That's about it.
Did you play it, Jason?
I get bored of it, but I know someone that absolutely loves it. So I mean,
Okay.
I know of it, but I haven't. I tried to play it, and I'm like, this is just too long, and it didn't grab me or anything like that. And I mean, I played Xenogears way back, so I heard it was part of that. I'm like, I'll give it a chance, and I was like, all right, just can we get going? And I keep hearing like, if I would have stuck it out for another couple hours, I would have gotten there. But I was like, that's another couple of hours. I've already put in so much time already.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it definitely takes a long time to get going. It's not until like it's about a 50. The first episode's about a 50-hour game, I'd say. The last 10 hours are when the real crazy stuff starts going down.
That's what I hear.
So it takes 40
a while.
Hours.
It becomes a good game. It's like I can't do that.
And it's not. There's definitely some interesting stuff going on throughout the first 40 hours as well. But like, the last 10 hours are just absolutely
bonkers,
Yeah,
crazy. And it's because of one guy, and his name is Albedo, and he is the craziest, most scary character I've ever seen in a video game ever. And that's why he's my number one, because when you have an antagonist where he's so unpredictable, so crazy, but also so intelligent, it's like impossible to know what's going to happen next. And with this guy,
is it Albedo Piazzolla?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. With this guy, there is no line he's not willing to cross when it comes to like getting at some of the characters in your party. Here, this is one of the scenes where he captures one of your young girl party members and does some interesting things that makes one of the other characters like freak out and have like this huge rage fit. And that's just one small thing that he's trying to make happen to achieve his actual goal, which I won't spoil. So this is another one of those where I don't want to spoil it because it's so crazy, and the story of this game is just so complex and convoluted. There's so much like lore and crazy stuff going on that I don't really want to get too deep into it. But in this game, he's like so powerful. He's able to like wipe out dozens of ships, which I think is what's about to happen here. No, this is not it. Anyway, it's not until the second game we learn that he is like sort of immortal. If he
sort of immortal?
Sort of immortal. So he can he can get like his arm chopped off and it will just regenerate with like this weird energy.
Oh, is it kind of like Deadpool?
Yeah, I would say he's more impervious than Deadpool is, though.
Okay.
So yeah, he's extremely powerful. He's like, it feels like you have no hope of winning when you're about to fight him, because that's just how powerful he is. And then it turns out there's other characters later in the story that are even more powerful than him. So yeah. Let's see if I can find a better scene here. Yeah, this game has some really creepy and disturbing moments in it, and a lot of it is because of him.
And what was this on?
This was on PS2.
PS2, okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, this series didn't reach its full potential because Bandai Namco kind of pulled the plug on it and made them wrap it up with the third game. There was supposed to be 6 games, but they were only finished with 3.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, and this was Xenosaga, right?
Yep.
And that's one game?
He is...
Well, just the fact that it's called Xenosaga. Is the one game, or is the Xenosaga like a series of games?
It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy. Okay.
Yeah. If you wanted to, are you like trying to write down one game in specific, or?
No, I'm just trying to understand, like, is Xenosaga an actual multi-series of games, or is it just one game called Xenosaga?
Okay, yeah, it's a trilogy of games, but they're all part of like the same story.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just learning a little bit more about this because the Xenosaga, Xenogears are kind of loosely connected, right?
That's what I've always heard.
It's
Hard to explain.
Yeah.
so the newer Xenoblade games have a moment in the latest DLC for the third one where it's implied that they are part of the same universe.
Okay.
I have not played that though. I haven't watched the cutscenes of that either. Because Xenoblade 3 was very disappointing. So I don't have a lot of hype or anything for like the future of the series.
Bummer. But they did good stuff with the first two.
Oh yeah. The first one. I didn't like 2 either for Xenoblade.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Xenoblade. I was like, there's 3. There's Xenosaga, Xenogears, and Xenoblade. That's the other one that I was thinking of.
Xenogears was the first one on PS1. But yeah, I just don't like the direction they've gone with the Xenoblade series.
Okay.
So I'm kind of out.
I totally get it.
But yeah, this scene here that we're watching right now, this is a scene where he
we just saw his arm get cut off, and then he just regrew it. Like,
yeah, he just ripped off his own head too.
oh, is that what he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
All just to screw with this girl.
Yeah.
Because spoiler reason, he hates her.
Okay.
But it would be a spoiler to say why.
Okay. All right. Any last words on Albedo? All right. Well, then we'll have Jason take us home and finish us off for tonight.
All right. So my number one, the reason why we haven't heard his name, I know we mentioned it, someone mentioned honorable mentions, is because how can he not be number one? I'm surprised I'm the only one that got him in the top 5, but maybe it's just because I am just a little bit older. But like, to me, if you say video game and boss and he's not number one, I think there's an issue in a way. But my number one is Bowser.
I had a feeling you. Well, I was, because I thought your number one after it wasn't Wesker. I thought it might have been Handsome Jack. But when you're talking about, number one, like video game antagonist and going hand in hand, I'm like, oh, it's got to be Bowser.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you ask anybody, like, who's a video game bad guy, Bowser is going to be the number one. Like, he is my number one because he was my first boss that I had to beat in a game. I mean, there's other games that had bosses, but he was the number one that had a personality in a way. But yeah, so like Bowser is for sure the number one. Yes, people could boo me. It's a safe answer, but like it's a safe answer because it's true in a way. He has many different forms, many different ways you beat him, many different mechanics. Like, yeah, he is just a true video game boss.
Yes, like we're talking like most iconic boss of all time. Absolutely, Bowser is number one, hands down. Is he your number one though? This is a personal list.
I mean, my number one is Sephiroth, but Bowser is number one.
All right.
Like, there's a bleeding of lines. Like, it doesn't have to be like, yes, I know it's my list, but like, he is my first boss. How can he not be number one? He doesn't have to be my favorite, but like, he is truly.
I think he does have to be your favorite because this is a personal list.
Yes, but like, the personal and like facts, there needs to be up. Like, sometimes your personal has to take a back seat to what true facts are.
It's like, yeah,
Like-
Bowser's probably the first boss I ever beat too, since my first video game was Super Mario World.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
so
it's
like,
not on my list because I'm just not a huge fan of Mario in general.
right, but like you don't have to be a fan of Mario to respect Bowser being the best boss or the best antagonist.
So I did have in my honorable mentions.
You did. Yep.
And like I would say, if someone says Bowser is their favorite video game villain, I would be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it, 100%.
Yeah, like a bunch of people in chat, like it's the safe answer. Yeah.
It is a safe answer, but it's also it's hard to argue against as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why my favorite boss is my number 2, but like my reasoning of video games and bad guy in games is my number 1 because it's just truth. Like, I mean, if Bowser was not a lot like around today and doing different, like whatever game he's in, changing mechanics that represent the game, he wouldn't be on my list. But like,
They've redesigned him in every game that he's been the boss to do what's expected in the game so well, and everybody knows Bowser. So like it's one of those things. Like he just has to be number 1, in my opinion.
All right, it's your list, so I can't tell you no, but I think I think your number 1 should have been
Like a year from
Sephiroth.
now, if I go like, oh yeah, we did top 5 bosses, and I see him still as my number 1, I'd be like, okay, I know what I was thinking. Like again, Ganondorf isn't like Zelda's. Like I like the Zelda franchise, but like, would Ganondorf be on my? If I just said, hey, name your favorite 5 bad guys, probably not. But like, I can't. It's the same thing with him. It's like I can't not put him on a list because again,
that
he's
seems to
been around.
completely counter your entire argument of why you are putting Bowser on your list.
I mean, not really, because I mean, I like Mario games over Zelda games.
Okay.
But
I
that's
don't know
what
how, but to each their own.
I like platformers. So, I mean, I have 2 platformers, Final Fantasy 7 and a fighting game. So, I mean, as you can see, my list is very me still. But like, yes, I mean, just and again, my favorite Bowser fight besides Super Mario World would probably be Yoshi's Island with Baby Bowser, because that fight is just really cool. The music to that. And like I said, I mean, it's Bowser Jr., but like still it's Bowser. I mean, they're all juniors in that technically, but
Which
like
one are we
Bowser
looking at here right now? Is this Odyssey?
This is Odyssey, yeah.
Okay.
This is a good fight too.
Yep. Of all like the modern Marios, I'd say this is actually one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm.
There were some of them were like really disappointing, and that's kind of like why. If like the Bowser fights were more consistently good, I would probably have him in my top 5 as well. And I know this is about antagonists, not about boss fights. But when it comes to Bowser, his boss fight determines how good of an antagonist he is, in my opinion. Because it's Mario, it's gameplay first in every single game. Story really doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's one thing that I like the GLaDOS is like it's got great written character and, in my opinion, great actual boss fight mechanics as well. Yeah, Super Mario, that was where he's flying around in the balloon, right?
He's in the little propeller vehicle thing, yeah.
Yeah, and you got to land on those little wind-up mechs, and you have to toss them up and hit
toss him in the air and get him.
Yeah, Mario World.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mario boss fight.
Okay. Well, I preempted my follow-up question, so.
But like Bowser, the Bowser, like Yoshi's Island, that's right up there as well, especially with the music and him slowly coming to the screen and everything. It's so good.
Yep. Yoshi's Island's definitely my number 1 Bowser fight.
Yeah.
This one, Mario Odyssey, is probably my number 2.
Lois, if you have the Yoshi's Island boss, you should bring it up just for Neo, just so you could just see the atmosphere. Because like the atmosphere on that is just like, unfortunately, we won't have the music because the music plays such a big thing into it, especially with the build up to it. But just seeing this thing walking at you from a distance, you're like, holy crap. And then the eyes glowing and everything, so good.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
played it.
this here.
I will be playing it. The dude convinced me to play it because I always thought like Yoshi's Island looked like not a very good Mario game, and he's like, no, it's like really good. And then hearing you guys
It's
talk about how
really
good
good.
it is, it's like, yeah, all right, fine, I'll play it.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, the music right now kicking off is just like something's going down, and then you just see that, and you're like, oh, that's right. He makes things bigger, and he just made Bowser Jr. gigantic back there. And now you have to throw eggs.
Yep. I remember getting to this when I was a kid. Oh
Yep.
man.
Yeah, it just felt like such a departure from how Super Mario World was.
And that's what they wanted to do. Like, and it was a good departure. Back off.
So you have to keep hitting
When he
him.
starts
Oh, he's charging.
Yeah, when he starts charging like that, that is terrifying when you're younger.
Yeah, oh yeah, because the music, like the noise and the music is just don't. You're like, oh crap,
Yep.
how much?
So, do you have to kind of hit him off, get him far enough back in order to beat him before he comes too far forward?
No, you just have to hit him 6 times.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the number. I couldn't remember the number, but yeah.
All right. So,
But as you can see, your platforms get smaller, and you're just like saying, please, eggs, come. Where are the eggs at?
Where are the freaking eggs?
Yeah. That's what you're looking for. Because like you see just how close he's getting.
On that oh wait, is that 7 now?
I think it is. That's what I was like. I thought 6.
But 7.
Yeah. Because I think 6 is everybody else, and I think Bowser was one more. Because like I remember playing as a kid, like, okay, I got 6 because everybody was 6, and he was still alive. I was like, what's going on?
Oh crap! Okay. Yeah,
It's so good.
After I get through my next playthrough Super Mario World, I'll be playing Yoshi's Island for the first time.
Another thing though, if you're on the last hit of this fight and you miss, you're pretty much screwed because he just keeps charging fast and he will not stop.
Yep.
Whereas before he'll stop and try to shoot fireballs at you or something.
Yeah,
But
there's a rest period
stop.
almost. Yeah.
Don't miss.
Yes, that's what it feels like.
It's so good.
All right. All right. So that does it for top 5 antagonists. So before we say goodnight, I remember tonight, Jason will give us our rundown of the top 5 overall. If he's not too distracted by,
I'm watching. Yeah, I was like, I said, like, just watch this. I'm like, this is why Bowser should be our. What's that?
What is this that we're seeing?
It's Odyssey.
Yeah, that's Odyssey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you can play as Bowser. I did not.
Yeah,
know
you
that.
take control of him at the end.
Throw the hat.
So,
all right, sorry. Yeah, this feels perfect. This is why Bowser should be our number 1 on our top 5. Sadly, he isn't. But anyway, our number 5 is Sephiroth. Our number 4 is Albedo. We have a tie for number 2 with Bowser and GLaDOS. And our number 1 is Ganondorf.
Ganondorf. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Respectable.
So, all right. Shoot. Last thing here. Pull that up. All right. So, our last thing here before we say goodnight. One more check-in. I remember to check as well. So check in on the poll, and we have finished with 9 votes. And unfortunately, Dr. Eggman won with 56% to 44% for Dr. Robotnik. So y'all let me down. But any poll.
I didn't vote.
What would you have voted for?
Oh, I remember I said I go either way. So
yeah.
I just didn't vote. I'm like, I can't pick. I don't know.
All right. Jason,
I think
vote?
I didn't vote because I'm the same way. I call them either. That's why, like, as I wrote the name on it, I literally have Dr. Robotnik / Dr. Eggman, because I will say one and then I was like, oh, did I say that? Like thinking whatever, but like I will literally say both.
All right. Well, Dr. Eggman won, unfortunately, because I don't know why that one would win, because Dr. Eggman sounds dumb, but Dr. Robotnik is a cool name.
I mean, that's
what he's called. I mean, that's what Sonic calls him, just because he's making fun of him. So I mean,
Hey, look, it's a giant talking egg.
yeah.
I wrote down Eggman on my honorable mention list.
Yeah, okay, so that's another one for Eggman. We'll use that.
I think what it is.
Tiebreaker.
Did you play the 3D Sonics more or the 2D ones more?
It's true. And if you played them both equally, then you call them both.
Yeah.
Which what? Because in the 2D ones he's called Robotnik, right?
Right. Yes.
And in the 3D ones he's more called Eggman.
Eggman. Yep.
Yeah, it was starting in Sonic Adventure 1. That's when they started calling him that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I've only played like Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles. I think those are the only ones I played. So
that's probably why you're such a Robotnik. Like, he's Robotnik.
And my Sonic Adventure 2 hours would probably eclipse all my other Sonic games combined. So
yeah, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah,
and
I'm probably
Hedgehog 2 are the only ones I played.
Probably leaning towards Eggman now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you said you wrote it down as Eggman, so that's a little kind of indicative.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Lois, as we say goodnight, what do you got going on over on your channel that you want people to know about?
New RNG soon. This one's been a pain because my list of games that came out in October is breaking the YouTube description character limit.
It's 5,000 characters, right?
Yeah. And it's longer than that. So this one's been crazy. It is Broketober for real. So keep an eye out for that video. I think I'll have that done on Saturday, but I'm also going to be busy Saturday, so I don't know for sure.
I'll check it out whenever it shows up on my feed.
So what I've been doing with those now, since I've been ranking, these are the top 10 best looking games to me that came out in the last month. I've been taking the number one and then playing it live right after the video goes up.
Okay.
So whenever I put out the next RNG, I'm going to be doing a stream of the number one game, whenever that comes out. So I'll be doing that. Tomorrow, though, I think I have tomorrow completely open, so I'll be streaming Fear.
Ah, okay.
I started it on Tuesday, and I got like 3 hours into it. So I'm going to be continuing that tomorrow. I'm going to try to beat it, but I might not be able to because it's like 10 hours long.
I can't wait.
What I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think you're there yet, but I can't wait till you get to a scene that literally I know it comes up, but I always jump. I don't know if you beat the game before, but
I was going to ask, have you played it before?
Yeah.
Completely blind.
Okay, then I can't say anything, but yeah, there's a part where it gets me every time, and I know it's coming, and I just like, it's coming, it's right here, and I jump every freaking time.
There's been a couple parts that got me already, so
yeah, there's going to be one that for sure gets you.
I played the demo. I think it was a demo disc that came in PC Gamer, or it might have been the Xbox version and the demo disc that came with the Xbox magazine. But I remember playing a demo for one of the Fear games. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, yeah, no thanks, because I don't typically, I don't like scary. So I was like, I'll pass on this one.
Normally I don't either, but I do like psychological stuff. So
I figured
I would like this one.
At some point, I will be playing through the Dead Space trilogy. So
Dead Space is good.
I also.
I think you'd like Fear just because it's very action based as well.
Yeah, that'd probably be the next like scary based game that I'd be like.
So
I might be inclined or convinced to try it.
The shooting mechanics and stuff are definitely aged.
Oh yeah.
But they're not bad. They're definitely not bad. And I'm playing it on PC, the GOG version. So I had to do a little bit of fiddling to get it to work with the live stream. But yeah, I'm very bad at the action. I'm very bad at it because I don't play shooters very often. The last one I played was Trepang 2 in 2023, which is actually a spiritual successor to Fear. And that game got me a couple of times.
Yeah, I've heard that it's creepy, but everything I've looked at, I'm like, this doesn't look creepy at all. But I have it. That'll be another one I'll be playing at some point.
Play it. It is so good. It was shockingly good. I loved it. It was actually my number 4 game of the year, I believe.
For what?
And
the
if
year
you know
it came
any,
out?
yeah, in 2023. And if you know anything about 2023, that was a year. That was a crazy year.
All right. Well, yeah. So
Go watch my my top 24 games of 2023 if you want to find out more.
Okay. If you want to drop me the link, I'll put it in the stream description afterwards.
All right.
And then I'll put it in my playlist and I'll give it a watch as well. So,
alrighty.
Well, thank you, Lois, for joining us again for another top 5. Always love hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So, Jason, you got anything you want to shout out?
Nope, I am super busy. Unfortunately, the next time you'll see my face is probably on another episode of Top 5 whenever we schedule that and figure out what it's going to be.
Yeah, so we have nothing figured out for top 5 after this one, so I don't know when we're going to be doing it and what topic it's going to be. So stay tuned in Discord, and we will we'll get that figured out and let you guys know so you guys can join us. So, but yeah, so as for myself, I am going to be doing, as I've been doing a little less streaming than normal lately. That will continue. I won't be doing as much stuff in the evening. Most of my stuff is going to be, game streams in a couple days in the afternoons for my Metroidvania Mondays, going through Prince Persia Lost Crown right now. And I've been doing Ninja Gaiden 4 on the last couple Tuesdays. So we were doing Borderlands. We will continue Borderlands. We just haven't figured out yet when we're going to be doing that, but we will continue that at some point. And then, but I will be on Carl's channel on Wednesday night. He's doing a legacy loading. We're going to be talking Mega Man. So I'll be over on Carl's channel on Wednesday night. But other than that, the next panel stream I have on my schedule here is the next episode of Party Chat, which is with Lois on the 11th. So yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight as we ranked our top 5 favorite antagonists. If you would like to rank yours, you could drop them in Discord, or if you want to do a part 2 of this at some point, let me know and we can revisit a topic with a new panel of guests. We're always open to that. And I have a channel in my Discord, which October Mike fortunately informed me that my link in the stream description is expired, which shouldn't happen because I told it do not expire, but apparently it expires anyway. So I did drop the current Discord link in the chat earlier, and I will update that in the stream description as well. And I've got a channel in there specifically for signing up for all the ideas we've had for topics. And if you have an idea for a topic that's not on there, let me know and I'll add it to the list. But yeah, so that will do it for tonight. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us for another episode of Top 5. You guys all have a good night, and we will see you next time. So have a good one. And as always, and tomorrow night is Halloween. So have fun, but be safe. So we will see you later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.